Welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan and I'll be your pilot tonight. I am joined alongside my co-pilots. I have Green Bean and Matt O'Leary. Boys, how you doing tonight? Green Bean, I'm gonna kick it to you first.
Oh, I'm awesome, man. I'm in a 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞𝐿 Crowder mood. I hope everybody's with me. We're gonna get into that.
Ooh, Matt, how you doing tonight?
Good. I'm in a 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞𝐿 mood, so I hope we get into that.
Ooh, we could definitely get into that. Awesome. Boys and girls, if you're hopping in the stream with us, hit that like button. We'd love to see that like number go up. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun for you. So let's jump into it a little bit. Ooh. You know what? We haven't talked about the draft stream. We haven't talked about the draft stream yet on air, I don't think. Have we? Well, I mean, we kind of brought it up a few times. Dude, I'm so sorts of excited. So we've got some things kind of in the works. Got a few special, and by a few special guests, I mean like a whole few, a lot of few special guests coming up in the draft stream. Dude, it's gonna be friggin' wild. Green Bean, I know you're excited.
I am, man. You know what I like most about it, man, is that everybody seems to be more level-headed. That's just my feeling. Like when we talk about the draft before it and everything, it's crazy. When we're together on the show, it seems like everything is cool. Like we're disappointed and nobody becomes a jerk. I mean, we're happy and nobody makes anybody else feel bad for being happy. I think it's the best time, and this is our third year doing it in a row. So I think this is going to be the absolute most fun that we've had all year, because this is an important offseason, man. So this might be the most important offseason. So I'm psyched to hang with you guys for that.
Ooh, Matt, how you feeling about the draft stream?
Dude, 4 picks in the top 40. So that's 4 huge reactions. Because that's my favorite part, I think, is when like the numbers like start to peak when the Jets are about to make their pick. Because we're on a delay too. So like we're a little bit behind, and then we react, and it's most of the time it's positive. I feel like we haven't had very many negative reactions, unless maybe like Jonathan Marshall. We were like, who?
I was gonna say the Morgan pick was like, what?
Oh,
what do you mean the Morgan pick?
I hated that. That's true.
Occasionally we start throwing stuff. It just gets we get all fired up. Oh, it's so great. And especially because like last year we like knew the number 2 pick was gonna be Wilson. Like we all had an idea. Fun little tip: the 3 of us all had videos queued up because we knew the pick was gonna go. So we're live. We're like, okay, drop the video. And, but this year there's a lot of uncertainty. I have no idea which way the Jets are going to go at 4. They could go any number of ways. I think there's a real good shot they're trading out of 4.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Well, it is cool because even the first year, like we didn't know it was Becton, who was going to slide out of the tackles, but it was 90% going to be a tackle. If it wasn't a tackle, there was a slim chance that it would be a wide receiver. But that was it. We had a great feeling. And then there were 2 tackles taken before us. So it was like, okay, it's going to be one of these guys. Like, that's it. This year, I have no idea. I have my thoughts, but I don't have any idea what the hell's really going on. It's going to be great.
No way. No way. Totally going to be surprised by anything they do. I do think an edge rusher needs to be the pick at 4 or the pick at 10, ideally. But other than that, I don't know. No clue. It could go any direction. Kyle drops in with Super Chat, says, Matt, did my $2 help fix your internet? That was the Venmo that I sent you the other day.
I don't know. You guys tell me. How is it coming in today? I can't tell you how many times I have unplugged and replugged in my modem. We did a little test run yesterday, and it was going better. So maybe a new computer is in the works at the O'Leary household, because I don't know. Nice. I don't like this setup as much as I like my regular setup. So might be a new Mac time or something. I don't know, boys.
Right? See?
Matt, one of my favorite things I've done the last year, 2 years, I think it might be 2 years now, was sitting online picking all of the nice upgrades that I want built into my computer. Oh, I loved it. I'm like, you know what? I have not had enough RAM ever. I'm getting as much RAM as I can have, and let me get some space. It's a good time, buddy. Let me know if you want to hang out.
You've got RAM up the butt over there, don't you?
I don't even know what I have. I have RAM up the butt. Oh, you're setting me up.
I am setting you up.
You are.
32
RAM
gigs
up the
over
butt.
here. It took me forever.
32 gigs.
Dude, I was having so many issues with the stream at first, and then and then when you start getting like the little jittery, because Greenbean, I know you and I have talked about, we've all talked about, when you start freezing up, it's like, I'm trying to say something and I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's the worst.
So Kyle, you definitely helped out Matt. I think we got it all figured out. Teddy, thank you for the super chat, brother. Teddy says, let's go. Can I get all three of yours? 4, 10, 35, and 38 picks. Okay, I'll go first. So if the Jets stay put,
the whole thing.
Oh, I know. If the Jets stay put at 4 and 10, and we're not making any trades, I'm gonna say so. Edge rusher at 4. Is it a little bit of a cop out to say like whoever you like at 4? It's a
no. You got to say your player.
You
got to say the player. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'd be good with any of the edge rushers. Like even Thibodeau. If I'm saying Thibodeau, Walker, Johnson, Karlaftis, like those 4, I'm totally fine with. But I think it's got to be one of them. Walker would be the one that I think is intriguing the most because he plays very similarly to JFM, where he can kick inside to D tackle and outside to DN. And I think the versatility on the defensive line is something that's really attractive to our head coaching staff. And I do think the 35-inch arms, the elite bend that this guy is exhibiting, while we didn't see it all on display in season because of how they played him, I think there's a really realistic shot that, if the Jets don't take him at 4, I think he might be gone at 5 or 7 to the Giants. I think he's really good. 10, I know a lot of people want receiver. I could understand Drake London or Garrett Wilson there. I'm hoping for Sauce or a trade down, personally. And if not, London's fine there too. So I'll say Sauce at 10. I'll go edge rusher. We're going Walker 4, Sauce at 10. I'm going Christian Watson at 35. And I'm going, safety of choice at 38, I guess. So if that's Scene or Petrie or whatever, that's a little bit of a cop-out, but that's kind of how I envision the top 4 picks going. Greenbean, I'll kick it to you first.
Ooh, all right. I'm gonna leave trades off the show tonight. Mm-hmm. Am I coming in okay? You sure? Am I coming in?
Dude, yeah. There's no pixelation whatsoever on my end.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna say that the Jets grab Jermaine Johnson at 4. And they are going to grab Kyle Hamilton at 10. I'm sorry. Let me flip that. I'm sorry. I was like, why am I picking Jermaine Johnson so early? The Hutchinson and Thibodeau are going to be gone. At least this is my tonight. This is only for tonight. Hamilton at 4, and it's going to piss everybody off, and you're going to see me laugh. It's just going to be the most fun moment. I can't wait to see Matt yell at me and everything else.
I might have to fight. Me and Greenbean might have to throw hands on the draft day. I don't know.
I'm gonna get one of them sock 'em boppers and just like the 2 gloves and just start wailing on. I gotta get a dummy over here.
But it's going to be great. You'll see. So it's then we're going to take Jermaine Johnson at 10 because again the edge rushers that are worthy of top 5 picks are going to be gone. But the top 10 edge rushers are going to be there. There's only going to be one top 5 player there on the board, so they're going to grab them. Then they're going to take Jermaine Johnson at 10. Then at 35, they're going to grab George Pickens, and everybody's going to start calling him the best wide receiver in the draft because Jets fans are nuts. We're going to spend the rest of the first round bitching at Joe Douglas that he didn't get a receiver. Then at 35, we're going to grab a receiver, and Jets fans are going to say he was the guy they wanted the whole time, and he's the best in the whole draft. He's the gem. He's the golden nugget. And then at 38, we are going to go linebacker. And if Christian Harris is there, that's going to be the guy. If not, we're going to bring in Chad Muma, and it's going to be exciting.
Dude, I love Pickens. If you told me the Jets were going, like, let's say, who did I see? I saw the guy from, who did I say? Was it Tampa Bay Trey? He had it was Thibodeau at 4, Sauce at 10, Pickens at 35, and I think it was Scene at 38. I was like, I love this mock. Like, this is great. I think Pickens is fantastic. I think he absolutely could have been the best receiver if he didn't tear his ACL at in spring.
Totally.
I
agree.
And he's got a pure fire on the field. And he played in the SEC, so he's like top dog amongst, the Bulldogs. So like I like him a lot. I'd be totally good with that. Matt, what about you?
So Lucky, I did a mock draft today on the channel, so I'm going to go off of that. It was at the PFF simulator, and I came away with KT at 4. No, I'm not scared off of him. I think he would be a home run pick for Joe Douglas there at 4. I took Garrett Wilson at 10. I understand what you guys are saying with the wide receiver in the second round. I just don't want to take that risk and being like, oh, is this guy going to be here or is he not going to be here the next time? I just want to, take the best one available, I think. At 35, I had Daxton Hill, safety from Michigan, and then 38, Chad Muma, the linebacker that everyone loves from the Senior Bowl.
Dax Hill, yeah, he's good. I like Daxton Hill.
Yeah, I think that I could definitely see. I could see any one of these sort of happening. I think edge rusher is probably the one position that all of us, edge rusher and receiver, are like easily the 2 positions we need to get in our top 4 picks, and it's just a matter of what flavor you're kind of looking for us to go. Jake drops in with a super chat. He says, "Wish this was happening when we took 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐳. It was, I think, wasn't it? Or was that the year before?
What's that?
Did we do the draft stream with 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐳?
No,
or was that the year
no.
before?
𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐳 was we started with Joe Douglas. We've only been doing this during the Joe Douglas tenure. Isn't that fun?
Yeah,
it's our only GM we've ever critiqued together.
When I watched, 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐳's highlights, I was like, oh, look, spin move, like power move, like this guy's got it. Dude, I have never been so, he didn't give a shit. It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
He showed up. I think they said, look, now this might be a joke. I actually said it one time, but I don't know if it's true. But he obviously came up to the combine. He was like 25 pounds overweight. All right. He looked fat. And somebody said that he smelled like cigarettes in the meetings.
I love it.
That's
just stale,
no, I don't. Again,
stale cigarettes and sex,
like booze and cigarettes. Like fuck off.
Just on a bender the night before. What the hell are you doing in Indianapolis?
I don't care. I don't need you.
Oh, that's great.
And Matt goes, I love him. Matt goes, oh, I smoke cigarettes too. Nobody knows. Let's go.
Fernando,
we're gonna be ripping cowboy killers.
Exactly.
Fernando, thank you so much for becoming the newest member of the Jets Talk 24/7 family. Guys, if you're a member of the channel, drop some JETS in the chat for our newest member, Fernando. Thank you, dude. It means a lot. We got Mutt Viles dropping in with his, wow, that is a massive, hold on. Yeah, you can edit that however you want. All right, there you go. Sorry. Mutt Viles drops in with his members super chat. You get one for every month that you're a member here on the channel. So let's go, baby. Hope all the Jet fans tonight are doing great. Was at work today, heard this trade idea, want to get your take on it. So do you trade pick 35 and Becton for a top 5 edge and draft Neal at 4? Huh.
Right.
You trade pick 35 plus Becton to get a top 5 edge. So you're getting up to like, let's say top 10 is probably where you're looking. I don't know what team would want Becton that high.
What's a top 5 edge?
So you're saying Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Walker,
I think he
Johnson,
means
Karlaftis, right? Well,
I took it as like someone in this league.
Oh,
we already have a top 5 pick. I mean, there's only 3 more. There's only a couple more of those in the whole draft.
But
you mean trade? I don't know.
I don't.
Viles.
Well, I took it as trading up to get a top 5 edge because who are you trading? Like, who are the top 5 edges in the league? It's TJ Watt, which maybe he's included in a trade up. I would 100% do it, but I don't think you give up Becton for him. If they're coming up to 4 to get their quarterback, give us TJ Watt. I don't care. I'll take TJ Watt all day, straight up.
Oh yeah.
Like,
you imagine?
They're not going to do that.
No questions asked. No, they won't.
Never.
But that's why I'm saying, like who are the other edge rushers then? Like, who would you put in your top 5 right now, roughly? Sort of ish ballparked. Like, is Micah Parsons in there, or is he not considered an edge? Like,
no,
considered linebacker, I guess.
He does everything.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, he does everything. I have no idea. I don't know which direction.
I can't.
So no, Mutt Viles, no. I disagree with you. But okay, let's just say for the sake of it, pick 35, Becton, you get Unedge, whoever it is, and you take Neil at 4. Would you guys do that? Green Bean.
I don't want to trade Becton. I know Mutt Viles. Everybody's on this tip this last couple days, trading for DK and everything. Look, Becton, I'm going to say this, and I mean, this is my official take on Mekhi Becton. I love Mekhi Becton. We saw what he did his rookie year. He's 22 years old, guys. He got rolled on, and it took him longer. I mean, we don't know if, what happened there. Like, we don't know. Rich Cimini wrote an article about him eating himself to death. His trainer put out a video a day or two later, and he's like, dude, this is the most inaccurate thing ever being said. The guy's looking ripped and everything. He looked fine in the preseason games. What's going on? What happened? What are you guys laughing?
No, I'm laughing at your take. I think it's fantastic. I think you're right.
Oh, yes. Okay. So I mean,
laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so even if you're trading, like Luke, I was talking with Luke last night, Luke Grant from Play Like a Jet, and he said, no, I wouldn't trade Mekhi for DK because a wide receiver is easier to find. As much as you like DK, as great, I mean, I love him. Finding a franchise left tackle that can neutralize Nick Bosa and everybody else dude, he had a fantastic rookie campaign. And he's so young. Like, give him a second. It was his first year in the system. He looked a little off. Like, give it a minute. The whole line looked like crap. So I'm not looking to trade Becton. Somebody wants Becton, they got to come and pay me for it. Like, Becton is an asset from my perspective. He's had one real injury, the shoulder thing. It's not like he's had the same thing. He looks like he's going to be this injury-prone guy. I don't know, man. I think Jets fans are freaking out, man, over nothing. Like, we give up on people so soon here. Not that Mutt Viles is doing that, but I'm not looking to trade Becton. It wouldn't be Becton at a 35 for another guy unless it was a TJ Watt, somebody dominating the league or something. But I'm not looking to trade Becton. You got to coerce me to trade Becton. That's my take on that.
Yeah, look, I'm right there with you. I think Becton's value is on this team 100%. The guy's, he has the ability to be a top 5 tackle in this league if he stays healthy. Why would you trade that away? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I think that we owe it to ourselves, and I think we owe it to Zach, and I think we owe it to Becton to give him, the full 4 years. Like, even if you decide you're not picking up his 5th-year option next year, at least give him the full 4 years. And if you want to go with a developmental tackle this, later in the rounds this year, because you're, maybe a little uneasy, or you think we need depth at the position because of, injuries across the line in general, then fine. I have no problem with that. But I don't think you go out and you get a tackle and trade Becton for like another player, because it's just it doesn't make sense to me. I think he's shown you the talent. It's just a matter of if he can stay healthy. And I think I want Becton here. I really do, because I think he wants to be here. And I think he wants to be great. I think it's just a big guy. When you hurt your leg and you can't work out, you're gonna balloon and wait. I don't know. It's just, like, I think it's a symptom of not being able to work out when you're that big. It's just unfortunate, and it's, it happened, but I don't think it's going to be something that consistently happens with him.
Yeah. Did he even balloon, though? I mean, any pictures or videos I've seen of him I follow him on Instagram and shit. I didn't see anything where he was like covered in cheese whiz or anything. I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything like that, but me kind of using I'm speculating here.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah,
and I think
got
that's what a lot of reporters are doing too. I think they're saying, hey, it's his weight. I mean, I heard a lot of rumblings about the weight. I definitely did. I think there's probably something to it, but I think it's also like natural for a big dude that hurt his lower body that can't work out to get bigger. Like, the guy has shown that he can get into shape really quick when he has a nutritionist. He played his best season in college with a nutritionist. He got in phenomenal shape for the combine with a nutritionist, and now he's got another nutritionist now. Like, I don't know how the Jets did not put this on their radar initially to say, hey, we got to have this guy with a nutritionist all the time. I feel like every player on our team should have that. I don't know. Matt, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I do think it's a little premature. And I think some of the takes are a little bit, well, Well, they're hot takes, but they're a little bit premature because he was very good as a rookie, and just because he got rolled up on in his second year, like it's over, it's done with. You have to move on from him, which I just don't get. And I was fine with drafting an offensive lineman at 4 before signing Lincoln Tomlinson, but once you do that, I feel like that takes it out of the equation. So if you're taking 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐞𝐞, then at 4, 2 years after taking Mekhi Becton in the first round, to me that sounds like a panic move. So I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels more like they're if they wanted to move on from Fant, like Fant's haven't, like they're in this contract discussion, trade Fant if you're going to take a tackle. Like if you think there's no contract to be had with Fant, then you make that move. But I think you roll into this season, I think Fant is a lock to be one of your tackles, and I think Becton, you know, if they're competing for left or right, I don't think you take a tackle unless you're moving on from one of your tackles anyway. But let's move on. So Fly Guy drops in with a super chat. Oh, go on, Green Bean. You got something to say?
No, I just want to say, like, to Mutt-Viles, I just want to make sure, like, to Mutt-Viles' point, I didn't really address, like, he's talking about, like, literally being able to trade 35 and Becton for a TJ Watt, for a Nick Bosa or something like that. Now, and if we still can take Evan Neal or Icky, I do get it. Would I look to make that move? Probably not. Like you said, Ryan, it's like it's moving a lot of pieces for the same result. You know what I mean? Let's just simplify. I think has its own value. So I'd consider it Mutt-Viles, but I'm not looking to trade back them.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put that as well. Fly Guy drops in the super chat, says, "What's up, guys? I'm upset with these mock drafts from earlier today from the so-called experts. Do they know something we don't? Because that causes them to make these picks." So I have heard, Matt, why don't you tell us who did Kuiper have us taking?
Drake London at 4 and Sauce Gardner at 10.
Yeah, what a strong draft.
I'm not gonna lie, like if we had that happen, I love both players, but we got to get an edge rusher. Like not getting an edge rusher, I feel like is sacrilegious. Now I have heard from someone that I'm not sure if I can trust yet, and he might be watching this, but a guy that might be an inside dude says that Drake London is in play at 2 with Sauce Gardner and Hutch for the Lions if they don't go with the quarterback Willis. So if there's any truth to that, then Drake London at 4 isn't crazy either. I don't
Wait a
think
minute.
you go that route. I know.
Wait.
I know.
Is that what you're saying?
It doesn't make any sense to me. But Kuiper had us at 4, so I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I've heard it before,
right.
and as weird as that sounds, I've heard it prior to this mock draft, like weeks ago. So it's weird. It's very odd. Like Drake London is kind of looked at as like a unicorn prospect. If he winds up running a fast time, like this guy's gonna be really friggin' good. So at 4, while I don't think that's a good move, I would go with the edge rusher, get your pick of the litter, and then I like a lot more receivers in this draft. I can kind of sort of understand it, but like I wouldn't go Sauce at 10, and I love Sauce if you don't get an edge rusher at 4. Like I think Kuiper is totally off base on this mock draft. I think edge at 4, and then if you get Sauce at 10, great. If you trade down, great. If you take a receiver, great. Like there's a lot of different ways to go, but I think edge rusher in the top 10 is a must. Green Bean, your thoughts?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I think like that's our priority in this draft. It's like, you know, you look at everything that Joe Douglas believes in with the trenches. You look how many times this year did Robert Saleh talk about the trenches? Ulbrich talked about the trenches. Even like toward the end of the, you know, at the end of the season, it might have been right after the season. Robert Saleh talked about the edge rusher, the pass rush being the one element of the defense that helps everything else. And we don't have that guy. Now we brought Carl Lawson in. And again, I'm going to say this. It's hilarious to me how concerned we are with Becton, but Carl Lawson, who's had 2 season-ending knee injuries and a season-ending Achilles, we're like completely fine with putting all this weight on him. Now, I'm hopeful for Carl Lawson, but dude, even if Carl Lawson's
Are we though? Because we're talking about taking edge at 4. Like we can't be that.
No, I'm talking, dude. I have Jets fans. Ryan, Jets fans are pushing Sauce Gardner up there because we already have Carl Lawson. We already have edge. What are you talking about, Ryan?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that's that. What I'm saying. I legitimately haven't gotten it. I've never seen someone say, "Hey, we want
it every
Sauce
day
at 4." and not an edge rusher at 10. Like if they're taking Sauce at 4, I've almost universally seen edge rusher at 10. I really have. Maybe it's just
That's
different
the
tackles,
logical
like, because I'm pushing Sauce. So people are probably like, oh, we want to make him not like dislike me or something. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Like the edge.
So my idea is this: Carl Lawson aside, even if Carl Lawson comes back and is 100% of what we thought he was going to be last year, I still think you need his bookend. Like we need this. It's everything that Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh believe in, and it's what this defense is predicated on: is getting to the quarterback, or at least creating pressure on the quarterback. And I think it's high time, man. Every single year we found a reason not to take an edge rusher in the draft. 18, 20, 19 years in a row. We've gone, I hear you, but we really need this. And it's time. It's fucking time. It's the strong edge class. Let's go get one.
I like it. I like
and
it.
the crazy thing, too, is Green Bean, I've seen people, I don't know if you're getting this, too, but like Jordan Davis potentially being the defensive lineman that they take. That,
that
is
right back to
insane to me. That's insane. Yes. How many times are we going to do this, guys? You need someone on the edge who can get after the passer. It's crazy.
Right.
And just on the Mel mock draft, I don't have an issue with Drake London at 10, but you have to get an edge rusher first. Or even if like you do go something nuts and let's say you take Drake London at 4, then you better be getting Jermaine Johnson or someone else like that at pick 10, because you can't go into day 2 without filling edge. It's just not possible for me.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. Matt brings up a great point, Ryan. It's like, right, I'm seeing a whole bunch of Jordan Davis love, and it's like, dude, that would be the jetsiest thing to do, because we've done that. I mean, through like 3 regimes, we have focused on defensive tackle, man. It's like it's unreal. Like we have the last guy, Quinnen Williams, was supposed to be Aaron Donald. Now he's still young and he has improved every year, and I like Quinnen and I have high hopes for Quinnen. But dude, we have him, and we paid John Franklin Myers to slide inside. Like, can we please just get a goddamn edge rusher? Can we do this already?
Quit screwing around. Let's get the edge rusher. Yeah, guys, I completely agree. Michael Rodriguez, thank you so much for becoming the newest member of the Jets Talk 24/7 family. Brother, thank you so much. Means a lot to me. Make sure you drop some JETS in the chat for our newest member, Michael. Mumtaz drops in with a super chat. He says Trayvon Walker at number 4, or unfortunately Kayvon. I don't have any. Let me just clarify. No problem with Kayvon at 4. I just think I get the willies with what he's been saying, and I would go a different route. No problem with the talent if we go with Kayvon at 4. So Walker or Kayvon at 4, Sauce at 10 if he's available, or Lloyd or Wilson. London is going to be gone to Atlanta is what he says. 35 Dotson or George Pickens or Christian Watson. 38 Daxton Hill or Jaquan Brisker. Yes, 100%. Sign me up right now. Yes. I don't care which player it is at each of those picks. Yes. Absolutely. Green Bean, your thoughts.
Wait, so this is his draft for Trayvon Walker or Thibodeau, right? Unfortunately, what's unfortunate? For Ryan, I get it.
That's
yeah. I get it. 10 Sauce or Devin Lloyd or Garrett Wilson. London's gone to Atlanta. 35 Jahan Dotson. You're going doubling up on wide receiver if it's Garrett Wilson or George Pickens or Christian Watson, Daxton Hill, or there's a lot of dudes in there. Well, let me tell you, I like them. I like every one of those players. I happen to like every single one of those guys. I'd be happy with some combination of that, Mumtaz, buddy. I think it's pretty good.
Matt, what about you? And watch this. I'm going to try and do my little switcheroo. I'm going to see if I could go like one person. Ready, go. Did it work?
Okay. Oh, this is like, there we go. This is pretty
checking it out. Trying different things.
Love it. This looks very nice. This is like a goddamn Mad Libs for the NFL draft. There's like a million different options in here. I don't think I would take Devin Lloyd at 10. I feel like he's falling a little bit. And I don't know. Can I switch, and instead of double dipping at wide receiver, can I take a linebacker at 35 instead? Because other than that, I have no complaints with the direction that he went, but I just wouldn't double dip on wide receiver, and I don't think I would take linebacker there. And something else too, like after the DJ Reed signing, are we out on Bryce Hall then? Because if you're drafting Sauce Gardner, then where's Bryce Hall going to play?
Yeah, that's what I hear too, Matt.
Well, see, I don't know if any of our signings prevent us from going any particular player in this draft. Like DJ Reed's probably only going to be here for 2 years. I think any of these tight ends are probably going to be here for 2 years. So I think it just prevents us from being forced to go a certain direction and drafting the best player available. So if we think the best player available at 10 is Sauce, I think the pick is going to be Sauce. And I don't think that's necessarily a detriment to Hall as much as it is like, hey, we're getting the best player for our team. Same thing with, if they decide to go an offensive lineman. Now, I think an offensive lineman is, a strength, and I don't think we should necessarily be going strength for a strength. But I don't know if I consider our secondary a big enough strength to turn away a lockdown corner, if that's how you feel he is. Like, are you totally out on cornerback, Matt, or are you do you still like Hall enough to be cornerback, too?
I think Hall should be a starter on the outside. You could add maybe on day 3 and get some more depth in there, but I don't. I don't know. I don't think you necessarily have to, like you said, I don't think you have to pigeonhole yourself into a specific pick, but I don't feel like corner is as much of a pressing need as some other positions after signing Reed. And I guess because contract wise, I get why you're saying that maybe he's only here for 2 years, but Reed's pretty young. Can he not get another contract here, an extension from Joe Douglas? So I think he could be a building block guy.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, but I also think do we love Hall enough? I guess is there any truth to DJ Bieniemy's comments about teams picking on Hall? Because if you think that there's teams picking on Hall because he's not going to be able to make a play on the ball, then maybe you don't necessarily deem him as one of your top 2 corners, and then you want DJ Reed and Sauce to be your main guys, and then your third corner is Hall. There's a lot of 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. I think there's a few ways we could go with this where you're not necessarily kind of compounding the same thing. All right, where did I see this? Where did Teddy's super chat go? Teddy, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, my top 4 would be Thibodeau, Hamilton at 4, Walker, Johnson, Karlaftis, or Sauce at 10, Pickens, Watson at 35, and then 38 would be Harris, Muma, or McBride. I love the player, can't help it. Talking about McBride, tight end's off the table for me. I'm not going tight end until probably the 3rd round. I like a lot of guys in this draft. I don't think it's worth spending a top 2 round pick on McBride at this point, unless they don't believe in one of the guys they signed, which I think would be silly. But yeah, look, I'm on board. I think the edge rusher. I think if you go with the edge rusher at 4 in Thibodeau, or if you take Hamilton, I don't love it, but you could still go with the edge rusher at 10, and I think I'm fine with that. I like the receiver in the 2nd round, and I'm fine with linebacker in the 2nd round as well. Green Bean, how are you feeling about this?
Can you imagine they decide not to start Uzama or Conk? We don't really like him. He's going to be game day scratch. Imagine that. That'd be so funny. We suck. But so I think tight end is still in play, man. I think that these guys are making a statement. Now, is it a priority? No. And I think what they did in free agency is really nice because it's no longer a need, right? It's not like if a tight end happens to be the best player and they love him, we can. But I think you're right, Ryan. I think it's probably going to be pushed to the 3rd. They probably don't like McBride so much that Ruckert, Ferguson, Dulcich, or Dulkick, one of those guys wouldn't fill the role nicely for them, especially because there's no pressure to come in and start. They can groom him a little bit and put him in, some role playing, not role playing. You know what I mean? But yeah, what else was the question? Was that what it is? If I think we're going tight end?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the whole super chat in general. If you're feeling any sort of way on Thibodeau, Hamilton, and then Walker, Johnson, Karlaftis, Sauce, Pickens, Watson, linebacker, or tight end.
Yeah, well, Ryan, didn't you tell us? I don't want to give away your info, but didn't you tell us that maybe Thibodeau is not in the on the Jets board anymore? Didn't you say something like that, or am I remembering it wrong?
No, you're right. I haven't said it on stream, but I have heard from a source that I'm, again, not sure if I can trust just yet. So I preface this. I don't want to say something that might be misconstrued, but I was told Karlaftis and Ojabo are scratched off the Jets list. So,
dude, how sad is the Ojabo?
Sorry, Thibodeau and Ojabo. Thibodeau and Ojabo were the
Okay.
two that were crossed off the list.
Yeah, isn't that just terrible with Ojabo? Isn't that so sad?
Yeah, I like him
Fucking
a lot.
pro day. Yeah,
I don't know
pro
where
day.
he winds up going. Like, if he's there in the third round, now I think that scratch is probably more so like first round, second round. Like, I don't know if that just means he's totally off of it, or if they just think there's better players elsewhere and they're fine with not going with him. But yeah, Matt, how do you feel about Teddy's super chat here?
Thibodeau, sure. Hamilton at 4, no. Walker, Johnson, Karlaftis at / Sauce. Okay, so I guess I'm signing myself up for Sauce Gardner. Pickens or Watson. I prefer Pickens over Watson, just because I think the SEC versus North Dakota State, that matters to me a little bit at the wide receiver position, especially for someone you'd be relying on to come in and produce right away. I think that's important to note here also. And yeah, I think linebacker after that makes sense. I think it's
I really like Pickens a lot. I know there's like some of the on-the-field stuff where he's like getting maybe a little too aggressive, but dude, when he looked over at the sideline, gave the sideline the threw the friggin' DB like 5 yards deep, and then went back and he's ready to stick his nose in there and block. He is aggressive.
Right.
Like, if you could wind up with like him and Dean and like you start getting these aggressive players all over the board, wow, there's a lot you could do. And we could talk about some trade down situations. I've heard a few rumors, but we're going to put that off to the side right now. Jose drops in with Super Chat. Jose says, hey guys, like you all, but please stop this nonsense. JD is not picking a wide receiver or cornerback in the first round. Cine at 35, Watson at 38. Matt, I'll throw this one to you. You think JD's not taking a corner or a receiver in the first round?
Has Jose talked to him? Does he know? Because I would love. Can he get me in connect? Can you get me in connection with Joe Douglas? I have a few questions I'd like to get for him. I just don't get like. So we say he's not taking a wide receiver or corner in the first round, and then mentions a safety. And like, does he think Cines a safety? A corner rather, I guess.
Maybe it's defensive back. I don't know. I can't.
I don't know how we could be so definitive on these things that are still positions of need.
I can completely understand. Greenman, you got any thoughts on that real quick? I got
it's a funny thing.
Chats I'm trying to like burn through.
Yeah, I'll blow through it. Somebody in my chat last night on the Monday mock, somebody said, you guys are idiots if you don't think this. And it's like, what we have to remember, everybody, and I love Iowa Jets fans, so I think he's a good dude. But we have to remember that nobody knows anything, because you think cornerbacks or wide receivers are the thing. I happen to think cornerback and wide receiver are unlikely in the first round. So we just remember we don't know shit. So we're just getting our info. Nobody here knows what Joe Douglas is going to do. Is it possible that we take a cornerback and a wide receiver? Sure. Is it bullshit that they won't? No, because we got edge rushers, we got linebackers, we got Kyle Hamilton, got all sorts. We got Jordan Davis. Don't forget about Jordan Davis, Matt. Everybody wants Jordan Davis. So, a lot. It can go a lot of ways, man. So we don't know shit, Iowa.
Just to clarify, that was Jose. I accidentally slipped up.
There you go, Jose.
Iowa Jets fan drops him with the super chat, and Iowa Jets fan says, Salah's timeline for Becton's return was ridiculous. Salah always gives the most optimistic response with injuries. AVT was probable all of preseason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think. Do you think Becton was an overly optimistic time frame to return, or do you think that was a realistic time frame to return, and he had some setbacks? Green Bean, I'll let you answer this one.
I think that Iowa's on to something. There was a few times last year, it happened with Elijah Moore as well. There was one time he said he should be a week or two, and he ended up being, I forget exactly how it was, but there was a few times last year where Saleh gave very positive prognosis, and it ended up being longer. Now, what's the purpose of that? I don't know if that's deliberate or whatever, but when we look at Becton's injury, he was crying on the field. Whatever he felt that day, he thought his season was over, so it was bad. That estimation 6 to 8 weeks, we were all like, oh wow, because that looked bad. We all were surprised that it was going to be 6 to 8 weeks. Now, I don't think you're wrong, Ryan. I think there was definitely some setbacks and everything, But the truth is that it took all year to do it. So it just is what it is. I think that Salah is consistently giving us a little bit more positive of a prognosis than is accurate, and that could be because he's just he's a positive guy. He's just positive, looking at the bright side.
Matt, this one's going to be for you. Jake drops in the super chat, says, I love Becton and would love nothing more than him mauling the left side with AVT for the run game. Is it worth gambling on his health and not taking best player available at 4?
So like taking 𝐒𝐿𝐴 at 4, even though you have Becton?
I think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying Neil or 𝐒𝐿𝐴 would be the best player available at 4, and would you still take them, with everything going on with Becton?
Yeah, he's saying that is it worth it? Is it worth the gamble when you have a guy like 𝐒𝐿𝐴 there? Is it,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, yeah, it is worth the gamble because they have a gigantic 15-year gaping hole at edge. So I would say, yes, it's worth the gamble.
Yeah.
Jets NY 102 drops in with super chat, says, can't wait till the day when we finally win a Super Bowl. They said it was wild when Philly won. I can only imagine how it will be when we finally win. I don't care what responsibilities I'm supposed to have during whatever day it winds up being if the Jets win a Super Bowl. I don't care. It could be the birth of my, second child. I would not at all. I planned it poorly. It's on me. I'm going to the Super Bowl parade. I would be all sorts of excited. Green Bean, how are you going to celebrate if the Jets get a ring?
I'm going to do exactly what I do for the draft. I'm going to come on here with you guys, and we're going to talk about it together. And we're going to have everybody. We're going to give away Zach Wilson T-shirts, and we're going to have Boy Green on. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to do.
I love it. I don't know if I've rattled off any of the names that we're going to have on for the stream, but we got Richie, Ali, NY Jets Today, Sabo, Blew It. We got Luke coming on. Who else I got? Sack Exchange is coming on.
Yeah, Boy Green.
Boy Green. Dude, we're loaded. Locked and loaded. I love it. I can't wait. Asman's coming on.
Asman, right.
Shavanshu drops in with the super chat, says, most unicorns are mules with an ice cream cone. I've never heard that, but I like it. I'm going to use that more often.
That's funny.
Jared drops in with a super chat. Jared says, how much impact can the hiring of the Bearcats coach Scruggs have on the draft? That's Cincinnati. Inside scoop on guys like Sauce, Majai, Pierce, Ford, and Bryant, etc. Look, I really, really like Sauce Gardner. There's always a player each year that I just kind of fall head over heels in love with. 2 years ago, it was CeeDee Lamb. Last year, it was AVT. This year, 100% it's Sauce. And I want to find a reason to take him, and I don't know if it's really a huge, huge need for us. But if he's there, especially at 10, I'm not passing on him. I don't care, who else is on the board. I think the receiver can wait till round 2. But, man, I really want it. But that's an interesting point. Like, if they say, hey, look, this guy's legit, I don't know how you turn that down. Matt, you think the hiring of Scruggs has any impact on how we decide to draft?
No, I don't think necessarily. Obviously, they're going to get good insight on the Cincinnati guys, but I don't think it's like a lock that, okay, you're going to target all these guys. I think it's just it's another piece to the puzzle, but it's not swaying one way or the other huge way.
Green Bean, this one's going to be for you. Rick drops in with a super chat, says, I'm telling you guys I love Watson and Pierce at 35 and 38, so he's double dipping at receiver there. Maybe 69 for Pierce. I don't think Pierce makes it to 69. DED 4 and 10. Defense, I think is what he's trying to say. Defense at 4 and 10. I think defense at 4 and 10 should be the way we go. I think it should be edge rusher, corner, edge rusher, linebacker, something along those lines, and then you go receiver and safety in the second round and build it out. Green Bean, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Pierce is a second round pick. Maybe late second. I look at Pierce as a third round pick. Look, I could be wrong, right? But that's how I see Pierce. So if I double dipped at wide receiver in the second, I don't think it would be Pierce. That said, I don't think double dipping at wide receiver is necessary. I don't see the same panic that everybody else has. You know, like we're bringing in tight ends. And we're going to run a lot more 12, even, 21, 22 personnel. You know, in a 22 personnel, you have one wide receiver. And I don't think we're going to do too much of that. But with you need two wide receivers on the field, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, however it goes. We still, we have 𝐆𝐫𝐞𝐫𝐢, who I think the Jets envision as wide receiver 3. I don't think he's necessarily wide receiver 4. And so they're going to, look, even Matt and I were sitting together in opening day last year wondering why the hell is 𝐆𝐵𝐞𝐫𝐢 getting 11 target? Why is the only pass going to 𝐵𝐵𝐞𝐫𝐢? And I think that's because they love him and they're trying to get him more involved in the offense. Zach likes him, all that stuff. So we got Corey Davis, Elijah Moore. We have Braxton Berrios, and we still have Denzel Mims, who another 23-year-old that Jet Nation has entirely given up on. I don't think that the staff has entirely. We'll see how that goes. But if we bring in one more guy, like in the second round, for me, it's George Pickens. I like Christian Watson. If we brought in one second-round receiver, I think that we're pretty good in that department. Then don't forget, we still have the beloved Jeff Smith running around back there too. So he's maybe we still have Tariq Black too. So I think we're better than people are feeling with wide receiver, especially because we're bringing in some legitimate pass catching style tight ends, and I think we're going to bring in another one, and we have Kenny Yeboah there too. So I think we're going to be good with one wide receiver.
Kyle Ormsby drops him in the super chat. Matt, this one's going to be for you. He says there's 2 edge positions for a reason. We have to take edge at 4, plain and simple. Agree, disagree?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree because and the one that you are bringing back is coming off a season-ending injury. I have hope that he's going to come back and be okay, but it would be a huge gamble if you're just saying, okay, it's going to be him and then a combination of Huff and Martin and whoever else you have rotating on the other side. You need a bona fide, legitimate stud on this defensive line to go on the other side. And also, too, like, how many times does Robert Saleh have to talk about getting pressure on the quarterback before people realize how important edge is going to be on this team?
Yeah. Completely agree. Shivanshu drops him in the super chat, says taking defensive tackle over edge, Rex Ryan, no question. Sorry, no, I do not want defensive tackle, but I think I get the joke where you're going there. Michael Rodriguez drops him in the super chat, says Stingley at 4, then Davis at 10. Old Jets way, no more. I don't want Stingley at 4. If we go on if we draft Stingley at 4, I'm gonna punch someone really friggin' hard. I'd be so upset.
Oh, right.
I don't want. That's the one player I don't want to touch at all.
Yeah, me too. That's literally D. Milliner and Sheldon Richardson, same draft. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. Like, I was miserable that draft, dude. I was actually in the Fillmore in Miami. Down in Miami, the Fillmore Theater, the Jackie Gleason Theater. I was watching Alice in Chains the first time with the new singer. I was live watching Alice in Chains, looking at that draft on my phone. And I was not enjoying the show because we picked D. Milner. I was like, come on. Like, I couldn't believe it. They ruined Alice in Chains, man.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I don't want to see it at all. Richard Delgado drops in with his free super chat for being a member of the channel. He said he's celebrating 16 years of membership. Sauce at 4, then Linderbaum at 10. Look, I like Linderbaum. I don't want him at 10. I think it would be a misallocation of resources, in my opinion. Let's see who we got next.
Where did all those guys go, though, Ryan? Remember? I was getting yelled at for a month.
Oh, about Linderbaum?
Yeah. People said I was dumb.
Everyone wants Linderbaum because we had Mawai, we had Mangold. I understand the love for center. I get it. Yep. Not in the top 10. I'm sorry. Michael Rodriguez drops in with super chat, says, thanks, guys. I only get my Jets news from you guys. Only from now on. Boom, Michael. We love you. Means a lot. It really does. Like, seriously, it means a lot. That's one of the best compliments we could really get. Let's see. Shivanshu, a.k.a. Lima Bean, drops in with super chat, says, it saddens me that many in the fan base and SNY hates Zach. Our past quarterbacks never had this much hate bestowed on them. Sam, Gino, Mark, even Hack had it better. Look, I don't think Zach has it worse than, like, I think Geno got a bad rap for a while. I think Sanchez, after the hot dog thing and after the butt fumble, got it real bad. But maybe he was, maybe it was worth it at the time of the butt fumble. Look, you're in New York, and we're going to be critical of you all the time. And I think now that social media is like even more a bigger part of our lives than it was with, say Mark back in 2009 when we drafted him. I don't know. I think there's definitely a little bit there. Matt, how do you feel about Zach getting a little bit of hate here?
I think a lot of it has to do with Sam Darnold failing, because I think people looked at last year almost as like a fourth year of Sam Darnold rather than like a complete restart, which I know that doesn't really make any sense with how I just laid it out. But
no, I think you're right on. I think you're spot on, 100%.
Like they were just incredibly impatient with Zach Wilson first. Like when he came back and had like whatever 150 passing yards against Houston, it was he's a bust. You have to look in drafting another quarterback again. Like what are we doing here? This is insane to me. But yeah, I think that's definitely a big part of it, is that you just had Sam Darnold, who everyone for the most part had high hopes for, fail, and I think the leash was just super short on Zach because of it.
I think that's well put. Greenbean, this one's going to be for you. Matthew Lakers drops in with the super chat, says the Jets rotate a ton on the defensive line. Doubling up at 4 and 10 isn't all that crazy. KT or Walker at 4 with Davis at 10. It's happening. I understand the thought process, but I think if Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh, here's how I feel on offensive line, defensive line. I think that Robert Saleh is a good enough head coach, and I think Joe Douglas is a good enough GM where if they are worth their salt, they can develop these guys with later draft picks. That's where the value of having Joe Douglas as an offensive line scout comes in. I don't think you have to spend one in the first round. I think you can absolutely develop guys a little bit later on. Greenbean, how you feeling about that?
Yeah, I totally hear what Matthew's saying. That D-line. No, I don't think that's likely. I think that you have to spread premium assets around a little bit, and I think that we have enough spaces to use it when we have Quinnen Williams and we have Sheldon Rankins and we have JFM and all that. Now, I was just talking in the chat with Gitmo Bob about this. Now, can I see them going edge at 4 or 10 and then maybe a round or two later grabbing Boye Mafe or like just doubling up? I can totally see that. And maybe a 5th round defensive tackle or something like that. I can see that. Using both firsts on an edge and a DT, I find that hard to believe. It's a tough one to swallow.
Agreed. M. Kamal drops in with super chat, says, am I the only Jet fan that is happy with no trade for a wide receiver was made? Let Joe Douglas draft some playmakers from the draft. I want to see Joe Douglas and the staff draft players. Well, I think Joe Douglas was definitely in on particular types of players. Like, I don't think he was in on Robert Woods the way maybe some of us wanted him to be in on, because he wants the younger guys. He was in on Cooper. He was in on Ridley. Like, there were options available, and it just didn't work out. So am I upset that the Jets didn't trade for a wide receiver? I'm not all banged up about it. Look, I don't want to trade number 10 for DK and wind up giving him a monster contract when they think they could get a wide receiver, in the second round. I've been saying if you're going to take a receiver at number 10 and you can get DK for number 10, then yeah, sure, go make that move. But look, I'm definitely not banged up that the Jets did not make the trade overall. Let's see. Shavanshu, you're up next. Where'd you go? He says, don't want Jets to mess up at wide receiver. One injury, and Tariq Black is back. AFC is full of high-octane offenses. The only way to make sure Zach takes a step up is to give him top-tier wide receivers instead of Chad Hansen. I think there's absolutely the opportunity for Zach to step up with improved wide receivers. I think that is 100% a weapon. I think he could wind up taking another tight end, another receiver, another running back in this draft. It wouldn't shock me to see 3 more weapons added for Zach Wilson, and I think there's definitely I think we can surround Zach while also protecting the defense so he doesn't have to come back from behind. Like, we could run the ball more. We wanted to run more. We wanted to use the tight ends more. I don't think it has to be receiver when you're running 2 tight end sets, because how many receivers are you going to have? We've already got 2 plus Barrios coming back. You got 3. We want to take one in the second, or first, so where's the depth, right? Like, I don't know, Green Bean, how you feeling about the Jets messing up the wide receiver thing?
Yeah, I think people look. We're only going to keep 5 on or 6. You know what I mean? Like that's it. That's it. Like people like to think, oh, just stack wide receiver. Like you only on the 53-man roster. Generally speaking, we have 5 wide receivers, so we already know 3 of them. Now, I happen to believe that Mims will get his way back, but I get it. People don't want to believe that, so I understand. So, and then you have, Jeff Smith in there, who I personally don't like all that much, but they do. So I would imagine he's going to be on the team. But so if you bring in one guy, even without Mims, you're done. Like that's it. Now you could have guys on the practice squad, but are you going to use a first-round pick or second-round pick on a practice squad guy, or and then you're doubling up, and I don't know. It's using drafted assets for guys that aren't going to contribute, and I think that you want to try to avoid that, especially up top of the draft. We have enough holes that we need to find people that are going to contribute to this team, not guys. You don't use your first and second round picks on guys that in 3 years you hope can contribute. That's for the mids and the later rounds. So I don't feel the urge that I see it. People are freaking out. Like I've seen mocks this week, 3 wide receivers, and it's like I don't know where they're all playing. I don't know what that is. Now Corey Davis probably won't be here. Like if he has another year like last year, he's gone. They can get out of his contract, and I understand that too. If they're saying, hey, insurance and all that, again, I don't see first round picks, second round picks as guys you take for insurance and all that. And don't forget, there's always a draft next year in free agency. If things go wrong, you can fill it. I think 1 wide receiver in the draft, and we're going to be fine.
Muslim drops in with a super chat, says, you should see Daniel Jeremiah's latest draft. He has the same picks as Mel, but in reverse order. I got to say, I like both. So, yeah, look, Sauce and London, I would be ecstatic if we had both those guys coming out of the first round. I do think edge rusher is such a big need. I'd be disappointed, and they better love some edge rushers in the second round. Otherwise, I think this is a horrible misallocation of resources. Matt, how are you feeling about going Sauce and London without addressing edge rusher?
I feel like it's a little bit more palatable flipped, but even still, I would rather than trade off of, if it was Sauce or KT, I'm taking KT because I think he's going to have more of an impact on what the Jets are trying to do on defense. Again, not a knock on, oh my God, why did I just blank on his name? Sauce Gardner. He's my number 1 corner. He's my number 1 corner in this class, but I would rather take a number 1 or number 2 edge in this class over the number 1 corner.
I think that's well put. Rick drops in with a good point, says, who covered Price in practice every day? Sauce Gardner. So maybe there's a situation, although we don't really know that. I guess it could have been Bryant instead. But you know what? It's a good way to kind of think about that. Let's see. I saw Michael Dubois. Where is it? Drops in with a super chat. Michael says, crazy to say we double dip at D end and wide receiver by pick 69. Yeah, we're not double dipping in that capacity. I would be very, very surprised if the Jets wound up making that type of move. What are we up to? Mumtaz? I think I'm somewhere. I'm losing my train of thought right now. Going crazy. Hold on. I'm going to pass that to you, Green Bean, so that way I can look for this other super chat. How are you feeling about double dipping at edge and wide receiver?
Yeah, again, I think that's a panic thing. We haven't seen, has Joe Douglas, last year he double dipped at the back end of the draft, but up top, we haven't seen him do stuff like that. So we're talking about using 4 of our first 5 picks on 2 positions. Yeah, I find that to be, look, when you look at it, right, that's the math of it. That's the math. 2 positions with 4 top 40 or top 69 picks. I find that unlikely. Now, is it more likely that they double up on maybe one of those positions? Yes, but I still think that's probably not going to happen as well. Like we could use an edge, a linebacker, a wide receiver. We could use another tight end. We have, cornerback, safety. We have, I know we signed LaMarcus Joyner and Whitehead. I feel much better. about it than I did before free agency, but I still don't believe that they're, going into the season, with LaMarcus Joyner as the only guy and then a major drop off to Elijah Riley or who a wild goose after that, I think is that would be an error. So I think that it's more likely to see those more premium assets used a little bit spread around than 4 picks on 2 players.
Mumtaz drops in with the super chat. Mumtaz, thank you so much. He says, Matt misunderstood when I said Jordan Davis at 10. That was with the assumption that we get defensive end at 4. If we need to win with 4 guys up front, we have poor quality there with Rankins ranked 98th by Pro Football Focus. That hurts the linebackers. I've heard a lot of people say this, and Joe Blewett actually echoed it as far as getting a defensive tackle in the early stages of this draft. I don't think it's necessarily at 10. I don't think he would be opposed to it, but I think somewhere in like the top 3 rounds. Matt, your thoughts on getting the edge rusher and then Jordan Davis?
No, I wouldn't do that. I think the earliest I would go defensive tackle is the 3rd round. I still like Rankins. I think he's okay. He's more of a pass rusher than he is a run stopper, but I think the linebackers are the bigger need. I guess I'll word it that way than getting another interior defensive lineman. So I think 3rd is the earliest that I would go. And unfortunately, guys, this is going to have to be it for me because I have to go write a post game now because I work 3 jobs and I hate my life, apparently.
Oh, no. Matt, anything else you want to plug for us here?
No, I love it. I am so excited for the NFL draft coming up in a few weeks. And the list of guests we're going to have on here is insane. Like, we had a meeting, what was it, a day or 2 days ago, and we kind of just like went over our entire plan. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. I can't wait.
Dude, I cannot wait. Matt, it's been a lot of fun. I don't have the chicken. I got to get the chicken, so when you dip out, I got to shoot the chicken across the screen.
Only,
all right, Matt.
Only a few more weeks of this. Only a few more weeks of this, and then I'm back.
I can't wait to get you back.
See you guys.
Matt, thank you so much.
Later,
Take
Matt.
it easy. All right, let's see if I can. Oh, see, this is me talking about O'Leary. Let's see if I can assign. Bam! There we go. Let's change this so we get a little bit of GB love.
No, I'll be Matt O'Leary tonight.
Nah, we got you. Look, I'm leaving the heart because I left the heart with Blewett the other night. All right. See, look at you. You looking all nicey nice. All right. How do I get rid of this thing? Come on. Sorry. Didn't plan for this. All right. Joe Payne drops in with super chat. Thank you, Joe. He says, LOL, nice play, boys. JD could shock us, but not likely. I think we have a pretty decent idea of where people may go. I don't know. I think we understand. Would you say, Green Bean, we have a pretty decent idea of like the draft needs and where we think Douglas may pull certain things?
Yeah, but again, like, look, dude, look what he did to us last year. Like, we thought we had a pretty good handle on things. We really did. And I'm telling you, from even the 2nd round pick, I did not see Elijah Moore coming as our 2nd round pick. Now, the trade up was surprising, although I knew they could. I didn't think they'd trade up that high, like 23 to 14. But I knew that I had a very strong feeling that they were going to want an interior defensive lineman. I thought it might be Creed Humphrey up there. Like if we waited to 23, I thought it was going to be Creed. I obviously loved AVT as well. But after that, man, from Elijah Moore in the 2nd round, I was, a bit taken aback. I was like, holy shit, like, look at that. And then Michael Carter. We had no 3rd round pick, so we waited from the beginning of the 2nd all the way to the 4th round, and we took a running back. I was surprised by that. Then Pinnock, Carter, Sherwood. It was just I couldn't believe I was blown away the whole time. So I think Joe Douglas has a really good way of doing his own research, and he trusts his own scouting department, and they could care less what any Mel Kiper or McShay or any of these guys, whatever they're saying, they don't know shit about Joe Douglas. We hear all the time Daniel Jeremiah knows Joe Douglas. Well, Daniel Jeremiah hasn't gotten it right, at least from what he didn't pick Jamie and Sherwood. He didn't tell us that Joe Douglas was picking Sherwood or Hamza Nasruddin or Jonathan Marshall, none of those guys. So I think we have a good idea of what our needs are. That doesn't mean that Joe Douglas is going to go that way, though.
100%. Roger drops in with a super chat, $5. Does not have a question, but thank you all the same, Roger. Much appreciated. Shivanshu drops in with a super chat, says, afraid a second-round receiver might be the least of the top-tier prospects. Zach needs to win games with his arm and put up legit numbers, not the defense carrying the team, so that we have real hope. Hashtag 2019 Sam. Look, I understand that. We brought in the tight ends. We have the running back. I think there's other ways to get the ball down the field instead of having to, overly invest in wide receiver. But look, if they take a wide receiver at the top of the first round, I'm not going to have any issue with it because I do think, we have to see what we have in Zach Wilson. And if you think that's what you need to get a fair evaluation on him, I'm all for it. Agreement. How you feel about Shivanshu's thoughts about afraid of going wide receiver in the second round?
Well, this is Lima Bean, right? This is Lima Bean, I think. So hello, absolutely. Lima Bean. He says he's afraid to take a second-round wide receiver, be the least of the top tier. Well, no, I don't think that's accurate. Now look, there are people that express to me all the time that the Jets' luck with second-round picks has been abysmal over the years, and it's true. It's almost like a curse. So I could see that being a concern, but it really doesn't pertain to anything. That's just kind of in the the atmosphere and everything. It's not real. I think Elijah Moore was really a good second-round wide receiver. If he can stay healthy, which I don't know if he can, but if he can, that's a number one wide receiver talent there. That guy is friggin' good. So if we have him going around now, I don't think that it's not all about first-round picks. When you look at guys like Michael Thomas and Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf, every year there are tons of guys in the second, third, and even fourth round that end up being the best of their group in the NFL. It happens with cornerbacks. It happens all over the place. So I think it's all about looking for guys that you cannot replicate later in the draft. So that's why I like Hamilton so much. That's why I think we got to go edge. The top end of the edge class is different than the rest of the edge class. You're not going to be able to get those edge rushers in the second and third round. So when you look at wide receiver, especially in this draft, I'm telling you, Garrett Wilson, if he's the top wide receiver, he's wide receiver 5, 4 at best in last year's draft. So he's 4 or 5 at best. We're talking about a guy in the second round, and we're talking about taking him at 10 because he's the best in this class. That's fine. But you got to remember, just because he's the best in this class doesn't mean he's going to translate to the NFL. Like last year, again, he would have been the 5th wide receiver off the board for a reason. It's not saying he's not good and all that, but the wide receivers, I think, are more compressed as a talent group, and you're going to be able to get very similar talent in the second and maybe even the third that you can in the first with this particular wide receiver class. There's nobody like really standing out. So I think it's fine to wait till the second round for a wide receiver in particular, where I don't think that for edge.
Mudviles Multivitamins drops in with the super chat, says, dude, you catch Willis's pro day, think he could go second overall. That's what we were talking about. I think Green Bean was saying it. I don't know if it was on this stream or was it on your stream. Dude, I don't remember what it was.
I've been saying that for weeks.
He's been saying Willis at number 2 because the Lions did not play Willis a whole lot in the Senior Bowl. They protected him a lot. They know they're not going to get him at 32. There's a lot of teams looking to come up and get him. Willis at 2, I think, makes a whole lot of sense. So Muttfiles, I think Green Bean and I are both on the same wavelength with you. It could absolutely happen. The Kitty Assassin drops in with the super chat, and guys, Kitty Assassin, Chair Run, Roger, Shivanshu, and Scuttlebutt. You guys are the next, or Scuttlebuttle. You guys are the next few super chats up, so just hang tight. We're just blowing through some of these. He says, Kyle Hamilton is a McCagnon pick. Great athlete with insane upside, but for the love of all that is effing holy, we cannot take a safety inside the top 10. Green Bean, I know you want to respond to that. Well, yeah, look, I think, again, it's going to dovetail with what I just said. It's not that
I want a safety so bad or anything like that. It's like when you look at the top 5, you want to come out of the top 5 with a top 5 player. If you're in the top 10, you want to come out of the top 10 with a top 10 player. It's not every year that you get up there, and hopefully we're not there up in that top 5 range very much longer, right? We don't want to be up there. So this is an opportunity to get a top 5 player. If you're not getting Aiden Hutchinson, Thibodeau, I know you don't like Thibodeau, but you know what I mean. Same point.
Hold on. I like the talent of Thibodeau. I don't love the mindset. It's the whole mindset of it. And I don't want it to sound like I'm backtracking because I like the talent. I see it's there. There's a lot of other guys I like more than him.
Totally. And I understand that. I really do. I just like, I totally get what you're saying with Thibodeau. And if the Jets feel anything similar, they're not going to waste a top 5 pick on him, man. They're not going to deal with it. But so anyway, that's where Kyle Hamilton falls for me. Like, as much as I like about 5 or 6 safeties in this class a lot, but none of them have the athletic upside and the football player mentality. He's got everything. The big knock on him is that he takes bad angles. And he's been able to do that and get away with it because he's so much more athletic than everybody on the field. Dude, that's such an easy thing to work on him with. Like, he's got everything else. So I don't think you can replicate that later. And that's why I'm such a Hamilton fan. And I think he would be amazing in our defense. Like, if we came out of this first round with an edge rusher and a guy who can cover the entire backfield of the defense while Whitehead is smashing tight ends and running backs, like, dude, picks, interceptions, it'd be amazing. That's exciting to me.
Charon drops in with Super Chat, says, if Thibodeau, Hutch, Walker go 1, 2, 3, who do we take? It's Johnson. I'm sorry, I'm taking the edge rusher. I don't think there's anyone else there that I would want. I mean, because then you can't run the risk of going edge rusher at 10 because the top 3 have gone. I'm taking Johnson or Karlaftis. No questions asked right there. I think that's a pretty easy one for me. Roger drops in with Super Chat. Again, no question. I'm sorry. I wish I knew that a little earlier so that way I could try to find it. I apologize. Shivanshu drops in with a Super Chat somewhere. Hold on. Let me find it. I definitely missed it. Green Bean, your thoughts on... where was I? Hold on. I'm all over the place right now. Walker, Shivanshu. If Davis... That's what I'm looking for. Bam! Shivanshu. He says, if Davis or Moore go down, would you feel comfy with a raw rookie wide receiver? Hence why I'm hesitant to wait too long to draft a wide receiver, want the best one. I think you lean heavily on your running back and tight ends at that point. Green Bean, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes to use the Bengals, right? As like a big, look what the Bengals learn from the Bengals, like, go offense, go skill positions. Do you think they were hesitant to rely on T. Higgins 2 years ago and Jamar Chase last year? Were the Vikings hesitant to rely on Justin Jefferson, or and look, Washington with Terry McLaurin, or the Seattle with DK Metcalf, the Saints with Michael Thomas, like taking, as long as, like, last year we made a choice to start so many rookies, right? Like, last year was the experiment. We're going to sacrifice this year to develop all these guys at the same time. We know we're going to look ugly. We know we're going to be sloppy, but we're going to do it. Now we have, those guys are now vets. Now they're young vets, but all those guys know the system. All those guys are considered veterans, on the bottom end of veterans. So bringing in one wide receiver to go with Corey Davis and Elijah Moore and Braxton Berrios, the rest of the room are vets. Our 2 tight ends are vets. Tevin Coleman's a vet. Michael Carter's a second-year player. Zach Wilson's a second-year player. Our offensive line are all vets now, even AVT. So it's like, bringing one wide receiver into the mix doesn't spook me as much as maybe somebody else. You just bring him in, bring him up slowly, and use him in very deliberate ways. And I think we're going to be fine. And I think, again, I know people like this wide receiver class. I like this wide receiver class. But again, there's no Jamar Chase in it. I'm telling you right now, there's no Jamar Chase. There's no Justin Jefferson. There's no CeeDee Lamb. And now it doesn't mean they're not good. But again, they're very tightly, talent-wise, they're tight together. They're all very similar. We saw it in the combine, really fast guys and very athletic, but you can get a similar player in the second round that you can in the first round. Now, if you're like Joe Douglas, he saw AVT last year as light years the only guard I want from this draft class. Then if Drake London's your guy, Garrett Wilson's your guy, then it's fine. Go ahead and do it. That said, I don't think I'd have the same concern as a lot of other people that second round wide receivers are concerning.
Scuttlebutt drops in with super chat. He says, let's see. Asman hearing the Jets are looking for a number 1 in 2023 with their number 10 pick. Thoughts? I think there's a better shot at this point right now with trading down from number 4 because of the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Seahawks sitting in the top 10 than it is at number 10 with the Commanders sitting at number 11 after having just traded for Carson Wentz. So I think the Steelers coming up from number 20 is what I've heard. There's a lot of smoke around this from what I'm hearing from again, a source that I need to vet. This is my year of vetting. I'm not exactly sure, but it sounds like the Steelers are trying to come up for Willis. And yeah, look, I think we're trying to get a 2023 first. If it happens at 10, great, but I don't think it's 10. I think it's at 4. Green Bean, your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I like it. Look, I mean, it's a tough thing, right? It's like, we want to actually be able to grab our own freaks, right? I've said it that way many times. Like, you want to have as many of those freak guys, freak athletes, guys that dominate the game. You want as many of them as you can collect on your team, and up in the top 5 and top 10 you have a better chance of finding those guys. So I do want to use those picks. That said, if somebody is going to give you an extra first the next year and another second in this draft, or like if it's the Steelers 4 to 20, we're going to get a haul. There's no way Joe Douglas is walking out of that without, like, I think you said it earlier, a first, second, third, first, second kind of a thing next year.
Yep.
And if they offer that, dude,
100%.
that's you take it, because that'll be 3 years in a row with multiple firsts. That's how you build a dynasty, man. That's how Dallas did it. That's how it goes.
Yeah, look, if the Steelers are wanting to come up and they want, hey, we're going to give you 1, 2, 3 this year, and we're going to give you 2, 3 next year, I'd probably do that. If they say 1, 2, 3 this year, and I say, no, I want a first next year too. You're coming up and get your quarterback. I'll kick back the 3 this year for 1, 3 next year. Like, I want 1, 2, 1, 3 then.
Right.
I got to get a first.
It's got to be a first.
Got to
get a first. Now it's the Steelers too, and the Steelers first. I mean, they've had a little bit more of a rough go recently than usually, but the Steelers, you have to look at their history and just, you got to assume that pick's going to be in the second half of the first round. It's not going to be a top 10 pick. So you have to factor that in to any value that you're going to think you're getting out of it. That said, I'm with you, man. You got to get a first, especially going back 16 spots from top 5 to the end of the top 20. That is a huge jump, and you gotta pay a premium on this. And that's the kind of trades, like when somebody wants a quarterback and they're driven to get a quarterback, that's when they overpay, and you got to squeeze that lemon, man. Get the first, second, third,
make some
second,
lemonade.
third. That's right, making lemonade, and then you get them to throw on the extra fourth and maybe a player, and you get whatever they're willing to give, and you let them know, hey man, I actually got another offer to only go back to 7 or 12. I don't know if I want to go back. And wait, I'll throw in another third. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. You got to get him to do that. And I think Joe Douglas, if we've learned anything about this guy, is that's where he excels.
100%. Josh drops in the super chat, says, in my opinion, sauce at 4, edge at 10, and double dip at wide receiver in the second. Look, I really don't want to endorse double dipping at wide receiver in the second. I think I would be fine with sauce at 4, edge at 10. I think there's a better chance of getting sauce at 10 if he falls to 4. And then just pick of the litter of edge at 4. That's kind of where I would prefer. And then Green Bean and I are both on the same page in terms of wide receiver in the second round, just maybe not double dipping. Knob Craft drops in the super chat, says they hate Zach because he's a goddamn dreamboat. Green Bean, how lovely is Mr. 3-Car Garage?
That's right. Everybody hates the good looking kid. That's what it is. You know damn well when you walk in the room with Zach Wilson, you are not the best looking dude in the room, and people hate that shit, man. And that's what it is. And he's just a guy. He just keeps quietly, just keeps moving forward, just keeps working, just keeps showing up, and everybody wants to hate him. I bet his whole life he's used to crushing the haters, man. But that's what it is. I agree with Knobcraft. That's the issue. Everybody's jealous, Knobcraft.
Yeah, dude. Look, if there was a quarterback that you could have leading our team right now, look, maybe Zach Wilson doesn't work out, but the metrics, the speed of his release, the strength of his arm, the maneuverability in the pocket, this is the quarterback to compete in the AFC right now with a loaded quarterback like team. Like you're talking Josh Allen, Herbert, Burrow, Mahomes, Jackson, Watson. Like this is a beefy AFC class, and Zach Wilson is 100% the quarterback that you want to have going into this type of conference than, any other quarterback. You don't want Sam going into this. Zach is the guy if he can put it all together. It's just a matter of if he can. Let's see. We got Shivanshu, a.k.a. Lima Bean, dropping in with a super chat. He says, Rex lost his pants thinking Stingley and defensive tackle in the first. I didn't see that, but I would be so upset, and Rex is totally off his friggin' rocker. Family Man drops in with super chat, says, I want wide receivers Drake London, 𝐒𝐿'𝐴𝐻𝐿, and tight end Jelani Woods. Zach Wilson succeeded with tall targets at BYU. Give him a basketball team out there. Play to the strength of your quarterback, not your scheme. I do think Drake London is closer to the Mike Williams mold that the Jets were apparently rumored to be targeting in free agency than some of the other wide receivers. So Green Bean, I'm going to throw this to you, and then I got to take a leak because I drank way too many Truly lemon iced tea. So I will be right back.
Yeah, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to talk to Family Man. As you know, I'm a family man. That's so we're going to get into it. Look, I think, when we look at Joe Douglas, up until the last draft, every receiver that Joe Douglas brought in was 6'2" and above. Every single one, from undrafted free agents to draft picks to free agent signings, whatever it was, everybody was 6'2" and above. So he understands that the wider target, the being able to high point the ball, all that sort of stuff, there's value there. Now, interestingly, the guys that Mike LaFleur is looking for, the really precise route running, they tend to be guys that don't necessarily have the same height advantage, and a la Elijah Moore, right? And that's what we saw there. And they also love Braxton Berrios. See, they happen to be guys that fit their mold a little bit better. So I honestly don't know. This is going to be an interesting year to tell us which way they're going. Did they draft Elijah Moore just because that was the piece missing in their wide receiver group? Or are they going more in that direction? And a guy like Garrett Wilson is somebody that they covet. I happen to love big wide receivers. I like my wide receivers when they can out jump you. They can outfight you. They don't like to go down at the first sign of contact. And that when it's not them getting the ball, they like to crush a cornerback or a safety. They're blockers. I love that sort of stuff. That's what we had with Keyshawn. And even though Krebet was really small, he was another ferocious blocker. Guys like Anquan Bolden. We had that with Braylon Edwards, was an excellent blocker, man. He took it personally. And that's one of the reasons I like Mims. Mims is known as a very, very strong blocker. So I like that. Now, again, I don't really know which direction that the Jets are going to go. This is going to be very telling. I hear that they like Drake London, and on another side, I hear that they want a small, shifty, precise route runner type of guy. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. That said, I really don't think they're going to go wide receiver. Now, I wouldn't be unhappy with it or anything like that. I just think that they're going to wait to the second and grab a wide receiver. It would be the third year in a row that Joe Douglas took a wide receiver in the second round. Again, we have 2 years in a row. We took a running back in the fourth round. So I think we're starting to see some patterns that might hold up. And I think that'll be interesting. That said, I love Jelani Woods. I'm in Charlottesville, baby. That's where Jelani Woods played last year. So UVA, I'm all about the UVA players. I love Bryce Hall. I love Tony Poljan last year, the big 6'7" tight end. I would love it if they if they grab Jelani Woods in the 5th, maybe the 4th. I think he'll be there still. So that'd be a great get. So I don't know. I think it's beneficial for Zach, but you know what else is beneficial? The wide receiver getting open 100% of the time. That also helps him.
Michael Rodriguez drops him in the super chat. Dude, I can't tell you how great that felt. I must have dropped 2 liters of fucking urine right then. Sorry. for
you know,
dropping
it's
an
so
F-bomb
funny.
right there.
I talk so much, Ryan. I talk so much that it felt like you came back in 3 seconds to me.
Oh, thank God. That worked out
already.
Perfect. Michael drops him in the super chat, says Pickens in the 2nd, a 5-star recruit, projected #1 wide receiver for this draft before the injury, serves pancakes like Prince. Dude, I think that Pickens in the 2nd is a home run of a pick. Like, as much as a lot of people want Christian Watson, look, I'd be good with either one. I think Christian Watson, there's a lot of attractive upside. You saw him at the Senior Bowl. You were able to work with him. George Pickens did it in the SEC, and he did it in an aggressive way. Like, this dude was throwing blockers around. He's, like, squirting people with a water bottle. Like, there's definitely, like, things that you don't love to see, but I think there's certain personalities. Like, this isn't an off-the-field issue. This is, like, I'm way too overly aggressive on the field. So I like it. I like Pickens a lot. Green Bean, your thoughts on Pickens?
I love him, man. He's my gem. You know, I was just talking in the chat with Braden Bethwaite, and he likes Christian Watson. He fits a lot. You know, he checks a lot of boxes, and I agree. The problem with Watson is that he didn't play any real competition. So, you know, look, guys can look really good when they're playing against guys that can't hang, and it's a lot of time as soon as they play somebody that can hang with them, they don't look as good anymore. And that's the real issue with Christian Watson. That said, Pickens is a stud muffin. He's one of my favorite players in the entire draft. And that, to me, like, if they were able to use that 10 pick on a Nakobe Dean or a Devin Lloyd after getting an edge rusher or a Kyle Hamilton, and then we get Pickens in the 2nd, to me, that's best case scenario, because you're more than likely going to have a major drop off in the edge department and the linebacker department and the head safety department. But I don't think the drop off is as severe if you can grab a Pickens.
Dude, if we can trade out at 4, get the edge at 10, and we're down at 20, and Dean is there, and then we get Pickens in the 2nd round, I'm going to be running around this goddamn room freaking the hell out. I would lose my cool. Benji Unger drops him a super chat. Benji says, JD is building our team like the Chiefs, not the Bengals. He believes Moore is our hill and will build complementary players around him and tight ends like Kelsey. I like it. I think Elijah Moore 100% could be a #1 wide receiver. I think it's the complementary piece that could be replacing Corey Davis, because Corey Davis could be cut after this year. Green Bean, your thoughts?
The Chiefs, I think we've talked about that before, Benji. It's Elijah Moore is not the same player, but he has very similar capability as a Tyreek Hill. That same type of impact I think he could have if we use him properly, which is one of the things, like, look, they're trying to get more outside as well as in the slot. So they used last year to kind of, try a lot of things and explore a lot of things and teach guys a lot of things. And we were here watching losses, so it was frustrating. But I think at the same time, last year was very beneficial to kind of get these guys into a lot of places where maybe they weren't used to being, and, especially learning the systems and the offense and defense and all that sort of stuff. But I think modeling after the Chiefs would be one of the smartest things you can do. I mean, they're about as dynamic of a team as you can find. Sure, somebody beats them here and there, but they dominate all year. And obviously they've been to 2 Super Bowls in recent memory, winning one. So there's a lot to be said for winning the Super Bowl. And I would like to end up having an offense that looks something like the Chiefs for sure. Elijah Moore at the front of that. Yeah,
100%. It's copycat league. Mark Orlando drops in with a super chat. Let's go real quick. So we got Mark Orlando, Michael Dubois, Tony Scaro, K Delgado, and 𝐒𝐿𝐴. You guys are the next super chats up on the board. Mark Orlando says, you can make the same case for Salah finding an edge and developing him. At least with this edge class, I'm totally good with a combination of edge, Sauce, London with 4 and 10. London is a beast. I think you can make an argument for sure. But I do think edge is very tough to get outside of the top end of the first round. So I think that's where I think a lot of us are probably pushing our chips into the center. But I do agree. I think if you're looking for depth at the position, like I don't want to double dip at edge because I think, and especially with defensive tackle too, because I don't see defensive tackle as like a very huge need, but I think there is absolutely some truth to be told with Douglas developing offensive linemen later in the draft and Saleh developing defensive tackles, defensive edges later in the draft as well. Green Bean, what are your thoughts on developing some players outside of, maybe just the top 10?
Well, that's the whole thing, right? It's like it's being able to use, being able to use the entire draft. Look, we've had situations where Rex Ryan used a 6th round pick to make his son's friend, Taj Boyd, feel good. Like we ended up cutting him before the season. He just wanted to give him that experience of having his name called. And that was a throwaway. We have taken Scotty McKnight because he was best friends with Mark Sanchez. We had, it's like we have thrown our late round picks away as if they had no value. Joe Douglas, on the other hand, finds starters back there, or at minimum contributors and then developmental guys. Let me tell you, one of the most fun things to me is, analyzing as best I can and really digging into the back end of the draft, trying to predict that. Who are these guys? Which guys are going to be gems, diamonds in the rough? That's the most fun I have with this. That's where I like to really focus on. The top end, everybody's talking about the 2 picks, and that's fine. But it's like 2nd round, 3rd round, the 4th round. It starts to get wacky and muddy, and being able to identify and find a few players like that, that's one of the thrills that I have with doing this. And we have a general manager that's the same thing. Dude, if we have an actual developmental process here, that's going to change everything, because then when your free agents are ready to go make money, you already have their replacement in-house. They know the system. You know exactly what they're going to offer you. You let the guy go get paid $15 million a year. You put in the last year's 5th round pick, and then we get a comp pick. That's what you got to do. You got to get on that side of things. We've been playing from underneath, from behind for years, scrambling around trying to sign all the big names in free agency. We never get comp picks. Our draft picks suck because we're using them on Scotty McKnight and Taj Boyd. So yeah, I think development is the thing that changes. That's the separator between good teams and great teams, in my opinion.
Michael DuBois drops in with a super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, offense would be potent with London or Wilson at 10, and then Pickens or Dotson at 38. Zach needs talent, realizing his ceiling. Davis is gone after 2022 anyway. I understand that, but we're still trying to only have like 2 wide receivers on the field and still run heavy sets. Green Bean, any thoughts on double dipping at wide receiver?
Yeah, again, I don't see the need for it. I think we have a lot of holes, and wide receiver, while it's not necessarily a strength for us yet, like everybody wants that number 1 wide receiver. And so do I, so do I. But double dipping removes the ability to get, impact players or guys, that you can have around for a minute at other positions. Like, look, we had the 32nd ranked defense and our offense wasn't much better. And, we need to spread some of this around and get key guys in positions, so double dipping at wide receiver, I wouldn't be upset by it or anything, but I don't see it. I don't think we're taking a 1st round wide receiver, and I don't think we're double dipping at wide receiver. I'm sorry to say that to all the guys who want that, but that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I don't see double dipping at wide receiver this year either. Tony drops with super chat. Tony says, I would like to see number 4, Thibodeau, Johnson, Walker, number 10, Wilson, London, number 35, Christian Watson, 38, Travis Jones, 65, Lewis Cine. I don't think Jones is there at 38. I don't think Cine is there at 65. But yeah, look, I like edge rusher and receiver in the 1st round. I wouldn't be upset with that. Green Bean, your thoughts?
I'm sorry, I missed that one. Well, let me look at it. I would like to see for that one, Thibodeau, Johnson, Walker, London, Wilson, London, Chris Watson, Travis Jones, or Lewis Cine. Yeah, I love Lewis Cine, by the way. Now, I agree with you, though. I don't think he's going to be there in the 3rd. I think he's a 2nd round safety all day. That's what I think. You'd be really fortunate. And if he's there in the 3rd round, If you didn't address safety yet, like that has to be the pick, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah, like look at 4, he's got edge rusher, right? So Tony, I'm in 100% agreement. I think if we don't trade out for a haul, which I think is possible, if we don't, in my opinion, it has 99% has to be an edge rusher. If not edge, because the guys you hold in the top 5 range are gone, it has to be Kyle Hamilton from my perspective. That's me. That's just me. And then 10 has to be an edge rusher. Like, you gotta do it. You gotta get a top 10 edge rusher out of this class, man.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You got to get the edge. The edge is absolutely the first most. And Tony, I agree. Edge rusher 4. I'll take receiver at 10. I don't want to double dip. I think there's more important positions, but I love Cine and I love Jones. They're just not in that necessarily in that order. Delgado. I think maybe it is Carlos. I don't know, but that's a K. K Delgado. Man, I've been drinking way too much. Says Jets love Bo Melton. They'll take him in the 4th. My understanding is Bo Melton, or no, I'm thinking of Menchie. What type of receiver is Bo Melton? I don't actually have any idea.
He's a shifty guy. Let me just double check. Hold on.
Is that him or is that Melton? I keep
meaning to look in. Mechie's like, Mechie. I mean, he's not super small or anything, but he's a really precise route runner. Yeah, he's 6 foot even. He's under 200. Let me look. Bo Melton. I keep meaning to look into him, and I gotta admit I haven't really yet. Let me see where he is.
I've had a hard time looking at receiver outside of the top 2 rounds because that's like where I think we definitely have to take one. So any receivers outside of that, I don't want to say I've forgotten about, but I haven't really done a ton of research because I don't want to go that route.
Yeah, see, and like I was just saying, like I really like to do that. It's been a rough month. I've been just all over the place. I haven't had the same time that I've been able to dedicate as usual. But yeah, Bo Melton is a guy. I mean, look, he's a Rutgers guy. I always like to take some time and dig into the Rutgers group a little bit. I think it's like our little brothers, so to speak. So I always like when you can have some Rutgers guys, but I haven't spent too much time in Bo Melton. I did during the Senior Bowl, but nothing. Yeah, so he's 5'11", 190, Bo Melton. He's smaller than Mechie. And he did okay in the Senior Bowl. He had some good returns as well. He played the return man for us in the Senior Bowl. But again, I don't think he's somebody that you want to use a top 3 round pick on. But later in the draft, sure, he seems to fit the mold. Ryan, yeah, good route runner.
I feel you. YTGO drops in with a super chat. He says, I don't think our wide receiver room is as bad as everyone thinks. Bring back Keelan Cole, take a wide receiver at 10, and we'll be just fine. Not another player at 10 I would feel would be a good value pick. Linebacker, maybe, but the round 2 linebackers are good. Yeah, look, I'm kind of that way with wide receiver and linebacker. Like, I think I would go both in a trade down or in a second round capacity, like edge rusher at 4. If you trade down and you get to 20, I think that's the sweet spot for Nakobe Dean just before the Patriots, just before like some of the other like early 20s picks. But yeah, I like Keelan Cole. I would have no problem bringing him back. I think he is very much a glue guy, and he is I like the Keelan Cole. I was pumped when we signed him last year. I don't think we necessarily have to bring him back, but wouldn't mind it. Greenbean, your thoughts?
It's an interesting thing with Keelan Cole. We were talking about this in my Patreon group a little bit, and there's a few guys in there that just love him. They want to bring him back, and I don't dislike him. But I expected more when some guys were injured and he was kind of forced to play, a little bit more up top, starter. He was a complete ghost. He was unable to get open. So I'm concerned about that. Now, bringing him in as the wide receiver 5, that's a very good wide receiver 5. And like you just said, Ryan, he's got a lot of team benefit, morale, all that stuff. Everybody loves him. He's the guy, speaking in the locker room and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's a good guy to keep around. I really wanted to entertain bringing Crowder back. If we were going to choose one of our 2 guys, I would have hoped it's Crowder. As we know, Crowder is a piece of garbage now because he's on the Buffalo Bills. It's funny, Ryan. I got into this whole thing on Twitter. I made a joke, said, "All right, 3, 2, 1, Crowder sucks." And people are like, "You're an asshole." It's
dude,
like,
you've been saying it every time. As soon as this guy leaves the team, you were like, "Yo, Sam sucks." Sorry, like, oh, I love Sam. Oh, he's traded to Carolina. Bye-bye.
That's
You're
right.
out of here.
Did we forget what being fans is? Like now it's all this internet. Like when I
it's
had
short for fanatics.
Right, it's fanatics. Like, dude, one of the best things to do. I had friends who were Steelers fans, Miami's fan, all that shit. Like we busted each other's balls. That's what we did. I rooted against them. That's what I did. I would say, "Ha ha, you suck." Like that's the way it went. And sorry for me is that I was usually on the losing end of that because of the team I root for. But that's what being a fan is. I don't hate Jamison Crowder, the man. He was great for us. He was a great team player. He's a Buffalo Bill. He's a division rival. And this is the thing I'll say to people. I hate him now. You're going to just wait until he scores his first touchdown on us. And then you're going to hate him too. Trust me. If you want to wait, go ahead. Wait. I don't like to wait. He's a Bill. Screw him.
I absolutely love it, Green Bean. Andrew Yale drops in with a super chat. He says, that's on third down. That you're using way too many abbreviations here. Oof, words are hard. Sorry, Yale. You clearly didn't go to Yale. He says, that's on TRD, DWN, FRM. I'm sorry. That's on third down from... I don't know. But Green Bean, what the hell does this say? I need a translator.
This on... third down.
That's
Wait,
what I'm looking.
Thoughts?
Right?
All right. Yeah, all right. Okay. I got to get my son in here. Can you read this? Come here. This is a chat thing. He's young. So here we go.
He's young.
What does this say?
From Andrew Yale.
Not that. This.
Don't hurt his head.
That's on third.
No, he doesn't know. All right.
No, that's
Get out of here,
third
TV.
down from 10 linebacker, then back and first 4 wide receivers. I don't even know.
Yeah,
man.
you know. All right, I got it, but he translated it for me. That was good. Thoughts on a trade down from 10 for a linebacker and then back in the first for a wide receiver? I know, and he's probably on his phone.
Which is that? What the?
He's on his phone.
You're getting. What kind of?
He's on his
words are
phone.
hard.
Don't worry, Andrew. Andrew, it's not you. It's us, buddy. It's definitely us.
We're too old.
So
Clearly, he's a lot younger than us.
Yes,
Even though
clearly. Thoughts on trade
his logo
down?
doesn't look quite as, or his profile picture looks like he might be around my age or so.
Yeah, he
sorry,
does.
But the words are.
Yeah.
Hard.
Thoughts on a trade down from 10 for a linebacker and then back into the first for a wide receiver? Yeah. Well, hey, man, it would be good as long as we come out on top. Like, you don't want to do like what Mike McCagnon did. He traded back 3 times in the 4th, and all he got was 15 spots in the 5th. That's all he ended up getting with 3 trade downs. He moved up 15 spots in the 5th. What the hell is it? What is this? So we don't want to just move for moving's sake. If it's beneficial, if you can come out of that with an extra player, because of the trade down and everything, and then you trade back up, but you end up getting 3 first-round picks and you didn't lose any picks, fantastic. I love it. And it all depends on the players. Like last year, the Jets they came out of there thinking we got 3 first-round picks. We got Zach Wilson, ABT, and Elijah Moore, 3 first-round picks. If they feel like that, I'm in.
All right, we got Team Killer dropping in the super chat. He says $2 for Taco Tuesday. Thank you, Team Killer. Means a lot. Love me some tacos. Joe Payne drops in the super chat. Says, would you rather have signed an Amari Cooper and not CJ and Conklin? Remember, tight end is a quarterback's best friend. In Joe Douglas, we trust coaching staff needs to do a better job jet up. Look, I have no problem going after Amari Cooper. I just thought it was a really worthwhile gamble to use a late-round pick on him in the wide receiver room, and then maybe you just kind of punt on him after this year, and you kind of sacrifice a 5th-round pick to get him. But look, I have no problem with the Jets holding onto their draft picks and going after Senior Bowl players, because that's exactly what I think they do. If they trade down, they're going to target Senior Bowl players. I bet we get at least 4 out of this draft. At least 4.
Yeah. Well, do I think, I know I got to stop looking at the chat so much. I get in there and then I got to come. So would you rather have signed a Cooper? No, I want to make everybody clear on this. I would have liked to come away with Amari Cooper, but I always knew that there was going to have to be some renegotiating of the contract. Joe Douglas isn't going to pay $20 million for a wide receiver where we are right now. I just find that difficult to believe. So I think going and getting 2 tight ends that together had 100 catches for 1,000 yards last year, and they block very, very well. I think that's really more important. Like he says in here, a tight end is a quarterback's best friend, and now we have the two either one of them would be the best tight end that we've had since Dustin Keller, and I think together they offer us the ability to do all the things that LaFleur wanted to do last year that he couldn't do. So I'm really happy. I prefer it this way.
Let's see. Shivanshu drops in with the chat. He says, where the heck is it? He says, wish I could grab a beer with Green Bean and talk Jets. Oh, that hurts a little bit. I'm not included in the have a beer.
Yeah.
Well, I see what it is. Green Bean, whatever.
Especially because I don't drink, Ryan.
I know, right?
I'm
clearly
a tea.
Sipping back some of Grandpa's old cough medicine, and Green Bean sitting over there all sober, and you want to drink with him? No, I understand. I want to have a drink.
Well, you know why? Well, because when I drank, boy, let me tell you, we had fun. Unless you don't like fighting and getting arrested.
Dude, I'm right there with you. Kelvin drops in with a super chat. Kelvin says, JD trades up to second, give up a 4th and 69 if who? No, do not do it. Absolutely not. Don't give up the 4th pick. Don't give up 69 to trade up number 2. Bad decision, Joe Douglas. 100% disagree with that thought process there. Edward Ziff drops in a super chat, says, Tibbs made a fool of himself, but I get what he meant about better education. Messing up the definition didn't bode well for his education. Yes, he said something along the lines of, what was the word he screwed up? It was like, do you know what the astigmatism is?
Astigmatism. Yeah.
God damn it,
Twice.
dude. You clearly you didn't go to a good school if you're saying astigmatism
He was so confident in that one, he used it twice.
Dude, he was
Poor fella.
He's like, I know exactly what I'm talking about right here, and clearly,
Stigmatism.
Oh my God, not the sharpest tool in the shed in that respect. All right, let's see. Sorry, Edward Zip. We're up to Lloyd. Where is Lloyd? I saw your chat in here for a second. All right, Lloyd drops in with a super chat. Thank you, Lloyd. Says, did we forget about Senior Bowl? I think we should be looking at those players at round 2 and on. Some of those players, Mafe and Johnson, have moved up boards. Jermaine Johnson, I think, is a realistic shot at number 4 and a realistic shot at number 10. I think that Mafe could definitely be. I think Christian Watson's in that conversation. I think a few guys. Green Bean and I have talked about it. Green Bean, your thoughts on the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, you know what? I wonder sometimes. There are mock drafts I've done, Ryan, where I have literally picked 4 of the Senior Bowl players. I just think they're good. Like, I like what they can offer, whether it's McBride, whether it's Rashad White, whether it's Muma, obviously Perion Winfrey or Boye Mafe. There's a lot of guys in the Senior Bowl that would be really Zion Johnson. And I think the Jets are going to do a little of that. Maybe not 4. I could see 2 or 3 Senior Bowl players coming to the Jets, and I would not be upset about it at all.
Daniel Faust drops in with a super chat. He says, my note is in the comments. It's way too far back, and I apologize. I don't know what you're talking about. Wild Billy Boy. I wish I knew. It's just we're like 19 deep right now, and we got like 10 minutes. So like a minute left, and we're like trying to rip through these. Green Bean, how long do I have you? You're doing a 10 o'clock thing afterwards?
I'll hang out till you get done. I'll hang. No,
Okay.
I don't do the after show while the draft. I switched that to Mondays.
Okay. So we're good. Green Bean and I are rocking and rolling here, so we'll get through everyone's questions here. Wild Billy Boy drops in the super chat, says, I think Joe Douglas is building a team to last. Realistically, I think we are a 7 to 8 win team next year, but I'd take a mediocre year next year and 2023 and beyond be the team that is consistently in the playoffs. Look, I've said it before. I really want to see the Jets in the hunt. I don't care. I don't need to get playoffs next year, but I think Zach Wilson is the guy. You want to see him take the step next year, and I do think 7-8 wins, I think, is entirely realistic, especially if Deshaun Watson gets suspended or we wind up, playing them early in the season. I think that's an easy win. I think there's a lot of situations where the Jets come away with 7 or 8 wins this year. Green Bean, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that a lot of Jets fans are having a hard time understanding. No, not understanding, but like believing. It's that, this is a longer, more thorough, more realistic rebuild. It's not just going out there spending the $80 million and trying to buy a bunch of names and win a bunch of games real quick and then they all leave or they're retired. It's meant to last. It's meant to create a team that can be good for us for a long time. And I'm really happy about it, man. I agree, Wild Billy Boy. I think you're on to something here.
Let's see. Who is up next? I was like going through this whole list and I'm losing my damn mind. Jose. Where's Jose? Jose. Bam. Jose says, Scene at 35, Christian Watson at 38. My two favorites. What are yours? I like Scene at 35. Put it this way. I would go Watson at 35 because I'd be a little more concerned about the Giants or the Texans possibly taking a receiver because Cooks is in the last year of his deal. So I would just flip it. But yeah, I agree. Green Bean, your thoughts?
Scene at 35, Charles Washington. Well, yeah. I mean, if we were to get Hamilton up front, I wouldn't want Scene. But yeah, I think that would be a fine second round. I would prefer Pickens, but that's okay.
Yeah, I agree. I do like Pickens. I think there's a proven track record there at least. Shavanchu
Such a stud.
drops in and says Bart Scott still trashing Zach on his radio show. Look, I haven't listened to him. I saw the SNY thing like a while back, and I've been like a little sour on Bart Scott. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's wrong on him. I think there's a lot of people that like Zach. Green Bean, any thoughts on Zach Wilson?
Yeah, well, it's the same thing, Ryan. I don't listen to these guys, so I only know about it when you guys talk about it. Like, I really don't. I know what their goals are. They're to upset us, but it does seem like Bart Scott has some sort of issue with Zach Wilson. It probably has something to do with politics or something like that. Another thing I don't like to get into with people. But yeah, I don't know. Just stop fucking listening to him.
Yeah, look, I think
fix
his
it.
issue. I think his issue is he wanted Fields, and I think he didn't get Fields, and I think that's sort of where he's sour on Zach Wilson. And maybe he believes Fields is going to be really good, and I completely understand if that's the case, but I don't see it at all. AZ Jets drops in with a super chat. Says, assuming the draft is DN at 4, can we talk about the best trade back options at 10 and who we would target? Maybe another second round pick this year. Go Jets. I think if I'm trading down from either 4 or 10, like I think you can still get a good edge rusher at 10, and I think 4 is where you could get a haul. If you can get a haul from 4, then I think, like, let's say we go back to the Steelers, I'm taking 𝐒𝐫𝐞𝐫𝐢 Dean at 20. I think that is a serious area of need. I think it's a gritty type of player. Green Bean, if you had to trade down, what player are you looking for?
I like the idea of 𝐒𝐫𝐞𝐫𝐢 Dean or Devin Lloyd for that matter. It just depends on which guy they're looking for, but I'm with you for the exact same reasons. Bringing in like a snarling, linebacker, like somebody that, instills fear in people, like they're going to just full speed like a missile. Like we need to have that with back there with CJ Mosley. That said, I could also see if we're back in the 20s, I could see getting a receiver there. I could also see getting maybe a Linderbaum there. Like I could see it opens up a lot of stuff. And I think that it changes in the 20s what you're going to do up in the top 5.
Jake drops in with a super chat. Jake says, if Michael Carter gets hurt, offense becomes one-dimensional. Zach set up to fail. Coleman is okay running back 3. Need to get a top running back prospect. Breece Hall, 4'3", 940, 217 pounds, Matt Forte comp. I like Breece Hall. I really like James Cook, Dalvin Cook's brother from Georgia. That if I had to go a running back in this draft, I'd go later in the 4th or 5th round, and that's who I would target personally. Green Bean, do you have a running back that you really like here?
Yeah, let's say the 2 tight ends freed us up, that we signed in free agent. It frees us up, and the Jets want to go running back in the 2nd. They want to take a swing at the best possible running back. I think, for me, up there, it would be Isaiah Spiller. I love him. I think that would be a fantastic guy to add to our mix. If we wait till the 4th, or maybe even the 3rd, I think Rachaad White is the guy that I would really like to bring in. And they used Rachaad White in the Senior Bowl. He had the most carries, the most yards, the highest average, all that sort of stuff. He had a touchdown that ended up being called back because somebody else had a penalty. But they used Rachaad White in that Senior Bowl. They wanted to look at him long and hard. I think they like him, and that would be an amazing guy to bring on as well. I think he'd be good.
Ooh, good. Austin Berry drops in the super chat, says, Ryan, I've been trying to get you sold on Garrett Wilson for a while, but what you guys think of Walker at 4, Wilson at 10, Brisker at 35, Leal at 38. Leal's the defensive tackle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Walker at 4, I'm fine with. Wilson at 10, I'm fine with. I like Wilson a lot. I would prefer... I shouldn't say I would prefer. I would go either way. I think Garrett Wilson could be an Odell Beckham Jr. clone, and I do think that the Drake London route could be the Michael Williams-esque receiver that Joe Douglas was trying to target in free agency that wound up not hitting free agency at all. So I would go either way there. Brisker at 35. Look, I just prefer wide receiver at 35, and I would go a different route, but I have no problem with safety in the second round whatsoever and defensive tackle if they decide to go that route. These are the needs we need for sure. I'm hoping Sauce falls to 10. Greenby, what are your thoughts on what Austin has here?
Yeah, I like it. I don't know. I think Brisker, as much as I like him, if I had to go Brisker or Scene or maybe even Leon O'Neal, I might go that way. Well, maybe not Leon O'Neal anymore that we got Whitehead, but I like wide receiver at 35. If we don't get a safety in the first, though, I do think that we should grab one of the upper tier safeties, maybe in a second. But what I hope is that they go wide receiver and safety. Leal, I don't know if he'll still be. I guess he might still be there at 38, but he seems redundant to me. He's a 3-tech, so
especially since
I don't know.
Walker winds up playing. Walker plays D tackle and edge, so I think you almost cover 2 spots with him in a weird sort of way because you have already brought in Jacob Martin and Ane, and you have Huff. So like, if you wanted to say you want the defensive tackle and edge rusher combo, maybe Walker's the best way to go at 4 because then you maybe hit 2 guys with 1 stone here. Lima Bean drops in with super chat, says, I want to kick walls every time I hear defensive tackle in the top of the draft. Yeah, but we're going to hear it a little bit more, and I don't particularly love defensive tackle early, but I do think it is going to be a serious need. Sneakers to Boots, what's up, brother? Look forward to seeing you during golf season. He celebrates 15 years of channel membership. He says, Drake London at number 10, trade into the first for Williams. I think he's talking about Jameson Williams. I love Jameson Williams, but if I'm taking Drake London at 10, I can't trade up. I would trade up for Williams if we didn't take London at 10. Would
you take him, though, if he was there at 35? Like, would you, if you take a first round wide receiver, would you, and if Jameson Williams floats down through the first round and he's there at 35, would you pull the trigger on that double dip with the 10 and 20 and 35th pick?
I don't think I would double dip. That's sort of why, look, I think there's going to be a lot of really good receivers in the second round. That's why I really don't want to go it at 10. Like, I like Garrett Wilson. I like Drake London. I have no problem with taking either one of them. It's absolutely a need, but I think Pickens, Dotson, I think Williams, I think Burks, like, I think there's a lot of receivers that could wind up falling to that second round, and I would have no problem taking any one of them. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't double dip. I don't like London and Williams. I think there's not enough room in the stable.
Yeah, I don't think, if we're taking a first round wide receiver, all these guys thinking we're going to double dip, in my opinion, I think they're dead wrong. But again, I don't think the Jets are taking a first round wide receiver. I mean, if they do, I'm not going to be upset about it or anything. I can see it, but this is a more compressed wide receiver class. I'll say it time and time again. They're very close in talent. You can make the case that London and Wilson separate a little bit, and that's fine. If you really love one, great, go get them. But you're going to be able to duplicate and replicate a lot of that production in the second round with lots of guys that are there, man. It's a very deep wide receiver class, not all that strong of a wide receiver class.
Shavanshu drops in the super chat, says, Taj Boyd pick still irritates me. What a waste of a pick. Yeah, we're all on board with that one. Jermaine Walker drops in with super chat, says, love your guys' content. Can you see the Jets adding Clowney, drafting a cornerback and wide receiver in the first, then trading back into the first for a defensive end? Thanks. No, I don't want Clowney because he's a penalty machine personally. I would prefer cornerback and edge in the first because I want Sauce. I really do. I want a reason to draft Sauce. And I think receiver in the second round, where I think the value is my preferred route there. So Green Bean, how do you feel about what Mr. Walker here is laying down?
I don't know. I haven't seen. You mean like? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me see
here. All right.
Can
I'm scatterbrained as all hell, so it's.
I'm trying to talk. There's some guys on the ledge in the chat, so I'm just trying to understand what the hell they're talking about. But love you guys' content. Can you see the Jets adding Clowney? No, I cannot. Drafting a cornerback and wide receiver in the first, I doubt it. And then trading back into the first for a defensive end. No, because the back end, dude, listen, I'm going to tell you right now that Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Karlaftis, Walker, Jermaine Johnson, they're all going in the top 15 picks, maybe top 20. So trading back in to grab one of those guys when you can just grab the best of the bunch at 4, I don't see it. I mean, look, we just added a free agent cornerback. We've used 4 picks in the last 2 drafts on cornerbacks. They've all played in the NFL. Some of them have shown starter capability, if not, lockdown, of course, but they've shown that they can hang in the NFL. We've also added a bunch of undrafted free agents that were playing, Javelin Guidry and Isaiah Dunn. Like, we've put a lot into the cornerback position. Now, going and drafting Sauce Gardner, if that's the best player on your board, fine. But again, we have actual holes on this defense where we do not. I mean, people talking about Bryce Huff, as much as I like the player, dude, he's not an every down dominant edge rusher. He's just not going to be that. It's unlikely. Let me say that. You can't predict anything. It's unlikely that Bryce Huff is ever going to be that 10, 15 sacks a year guy for us. So we need an edge rusher, man. And we need a linebacker next to CJ Mosley. I know they like Sherwood. That's all great. I'm on board. Bringing in a linebacker so we can actually run a 4-3 would be really a very, very, very smart move. Safety, LaMarcus Joyner, he's on a 1-year contract. This is a strong safety class. Bring one in early, a guy that can be here for 5 to 10 years. That's what you want. So I don't know. That's where I am with it.
Oops, sorry. Missed that up. All right, hold on. So Thomas Cahill dropped in with a super chat. I accidentally clicked out of it. He says, I think JD will take Pickens with or without a trade down. Yeah, I like Pickens in the second round. I know Green Bean and I have been kind of preaching him a little bit. I think he is a violent type of receiver that has a mean streak. So Thomas Cahill, I completely agree with Pickens. I have no problem with taking him. If they want to go with a wide receiver they saw in the Senior Bowl, then I think you're probably looking at Christian Watson based on where his Senior Bowl sort of fell. Michael drops in with a super chat. Michael says, second round safety. Who you think would be there? I'm hoping for Hill or Brisker. I think Scene is too much like Whitehead. I think Scene's probably, I think he could go in the first round. Look, I'm fine with Hall, Brisker, or Petrie. Petrie was in our on our Senior Bowl team. No problem.
Yes, he was. And he played very, very well. He had a good Senior Bowl.
Absolutely. Iowan Jets fan drops in the super chat, says, Ryan, your hat. Are you even serious about this? Do you see this? This is the cockpit.
What is this? Who is it?
I am your pilot. This is Iowan Jet fan.
Iowan, what are you new here, buddy? You've been wearing that shit for 5 years.
Absolutely. I got this before my first live stream. 100%, dude. All day, dude. All day. Eddie DeJesus says, I will be with you on draft day. That's right. We got a whole bunch of guys coming in for draft day. We got Jake Asman. We got Richie, Ali, Sabo, Blewett, NYJ today, Sack Exchange, Luke Grant, Boy Green. We're loaded, locked and loaded. Absolutely loving this. Who's up next? Joe Pekulik, Sorless, James, and Shivanchu. You guys are on deck. Let me find Joe's super chat. Joe says, Green Bean, how was the pasta bucket? By the way, I agree with you on wide receiver. I would love to get Cook in the 4th. Your thoughts? Oh, dude, if we get Cook in the 4th, James Cook, seriously, watch his highlights. The guy's legit. And I love the whole, Dalvin Cook, brotherhood thing. But yeah.
Yeah. I think Cook's going to be one of the top 3 running backs, probably, maybe 4th. You got Walker in there, and it depends on what teams like. Like, I'm a big Isaiah Spiller guy as the top running back. That's the guy I would grab, obviously, Breece Hall and everything. But I don't know if Cook makes it to the 4th. But then again, they didn't think Michael Carter was going to make it to the 4th last year, and he did. The pasta bucket was not so good, Joe.
Are you serious? Like, pasta in a paper bowl? What?
Well, that wasn't the issue. The issue was the sauce. The meatballs were really good. The pasta itself was really good. It was the sauce. It was like a sweet, like, kind of jar. It tasted like a ragu, and I was really disappointed because it's fun. It was a fun thing. They like just take this mound of fucking spaghetti and they pack this bowl and they pour sauce and throw meatballs in there and they give you a loaf of garlic bread. It was like, yeah, I love it. But it's like this. If you're gonna be drunk in the middle of the night and you'd rather go to McDonald's, or I'd go to the pasta place for sure.
All right. See, I'm more of a Wendy's kind of guy. I'm a number 12 with a large Dr. Pepper. Soreless, Sauce Gardner is a big Sriracha Wendy's fan. But Sorless drops in with Super Chat, says, not draft related, but what jerseys do you see us bringing back, introducing with the new uniform rule, allowing a second helmet color? I really hope we get to see the old Jet logo, like the one with the swoosh on it. Like, I love that 80s, 90s logo. Green Bean, is there a particular colorway or logo that you're hoping we get to see with this new rule?
I hope it's the 80s, 90s logo. Like, if we're gonna have, like, that extra helmet, I think it should be that. That said, my favorite uniform is the Bill Parcells, Rex Ryan, the white helmets. That's my favorite uniform. And by the way, it's where we've had the most success. So maybe that has something to do with it. But I was really happy when we switched to that in '98. I love it. But if we're gonna do throwbacky kind of thing, I hope it's that, the Rich Kotite uniform.
James Alba, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, getting a feeling the Jets are preparing to take Jameson Williams either at 10 or in a trade down, knowing the upside, but then doubling down in the second with a wide receiver with an immediate impact. Thoughts? I don't think it happens like that. I do think teams are not afraid of the ACL tear, which is why Williams and Pickens are going to go higher than maybe people originally thought, because you look at Michael Gallup, he wound up getting like a $62 million contract, and then Chris Godwin was franchise tagged and then was given a $60 million contract. So I don't think teams are afraid of the ACL, and I think Williams absolutely goes in the first round, and it wouldn't shock me if Pickens crept up into the back end of the first or high second after being considered like a third round pick. Green Bean, how do you feel about like the ACL type injury receivers?
Well, I think they're going to come back. Like, I think they're fine. These days an ACL is just, it's not minor, but it's considered something that guys are going to come back from. The problem with drafting Jameson Williams up top in the first is that people are looking for the first round to be contributors, like right now. Now, Jameson Williams could take the whole season to kind of get back up to 100%. Now, if a team already has a nice, well-stocked wide receiver group, like the back end of the first, I think that's where he's more likely to go. I don't see anybody in the top 15 taking that swing, because those are bad teams that are looking for players to come in right now and help them get out of the basement. So, but yeah, I think Jameson Williams is going to come back and be fine, though. I don't think the ACL is anything that would scare people from drafting him. I don't think he's scratched off,
100%. Lima Bean drops in and says, you too, Ryan, beers for everyone except defensive tackles. So thank you. I'm glad you would like to have a cerveza with me as well. It means a little bit, for sure. Michael Rodriguez drops in with Super Chat. He says, Texas A&M Pro Day ran 44 yards instead. Weidermeyer 503, definitely off the board. It wouldn't shock me if he wound up being the first tight end off the board. I think a lot of people fell in love with Trey McBride at the top of the second because he was at the Senior Bowl. We got to see all the flashy stats. Like, I think we've seen closer to the ceiling of what McBride is than what we have with a lot of the other tight ends in this draft class. And I wouldn't touch tight end in the second round. I think the value is absolutely in the third, fourth, fifth round for tight end. I think there's a lot of good guys. Green Bean, how you feeling about 𝐒𝐿𝐷𝐼ER, and how you feeling about tight end in general?
Yeah, I mean, look, he didn't have the best pro day today, but I still think, I mean, there were people talking about him being an undrafted free agent, right? I don't know if that's going to happen, but last year there were a few tight ends that I thought were definitely draftable. 𝐒𝐿𝐷𝐼ER being one of them, and he made it to an undrafted free agent, along with 𝐒𝐵𝐈NKS and 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐜 and quite a few of these guys. So, but I still think 𝐒𝐿𝐷𝐼ER has the production. He has enough upside. He's going to be a pick. Yeah, as far as us, I don't think the signing 2 tight ends in free agency kind of said to me that we're not looking for a tight end until the 3rd, maybe 4th round. And it happens to be a good class to do that because it's very deep and it's deep with strength. Like these guys are actually able to come in and be productive. And look, tight ends get found in the 4th, 5th round all the time. This is a good class to do that with.
So Green Bean and I are you're good to keep going, and as long as people are super chatting, because like I'm looking at some comments. Jake says, if we keep super chatting, does that mean we keep Ryan and Green Bean live hostage forever? And then Hawk says, made about 280,000 in super chats tonight. LOL, goddamn. We'll keep answering questions. Look, I got to be at work early, but I don't care. I'm staying on. We got this.
Yeah, I got, what time is it? 10 after 10? Yeah, I'll hang out another, if it's an hour. After an hour, I got to film some stuff. I got to edit some shit. But yeah, I got another. we can do this.
Look,
keep the band together.
Brandon became the newest member of the Jets Talk 24/7 family, guys. Drop some JETS or some TITS or some TESTES in the chat. Words are hard. Brandon also dropped in with a super chat shortly after that, and he says, all these offseason moves just to go 0-17, G-Men on top. Brandon, I really liked you when you became a member of the channel, and now, not going to lie, I think a little bit less of you, but thank you all the same for the super chat, and I hope your G-Men suck. Ian with the super chat says, JJ at 4, way too high. He's 23 years old. He has a high floor, but you pick high potential players in the top 5, KT or 𝐼𝐻𝐾𝐚 at 4. Let's listen to this right now. You say no taking a 23-year-old player at number 4. Green Bean, if you could go back in time, would you take TJ Watt, top 5?
Who did we take that year?
No. It doesn't matter. So Jermaine Johnson is 23 years old. He's saying you don't take someone in the top 5. Would you take TJ Watt in the top 5 going back to his draft class?
Knowing what I know now, I think I might. Yeah. Hello.
You know what's interesting about him?
What's that?
He was 23. He was a little older coming out.
Is 23 old now?
It's
23 is not old.
So I was 20. Let's see. I took an extra year of preschool. I was young. I'm November birthday. So when I graduated high school, I turned 18 my senior year. So I was almost 19 by the time I hit that point. So he would have been 21, going on 22 probably, graduating. But because he transferred, I think it kept him an extra year. I think is I don't know. Is that how that worked? I don't know. But I'm not afraid of taking someone with a little bit of an age.
Yeah. This is a weird time because COVID made everybody like extend. You know what I mean? It was a weird thing. There's a lot of guys staying the next year. And all that. I think 24 is where I start thinking that they're older. Right? That's kind of the cut. Not 23 to me. 23 is still okay. I wouldn't take a great player off my board because they're 23.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Dustin Keller, former Jets tight end, drops in with the super chat, says KT at 4, Dean at 10, Travis Jones 35, Pickens 38, Kirby Joseph 69, 111 Algier, that's the running back from BYU if I'm not mistaken. Otner Ruckert at 117, swing tackle at 146. I don't know who 𝐒𝐿𝐷𝐼ER is to play halfback or H-back.
𝐒𝐿𝐷𝐼ER, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know him, unfortunately.
I don't love using a second-round pick on a defensive tackle, man. Maybe call me stuck, like my face keeps getting on this damn stream. But I don't like it, man. I don't want a defense. It's a place where we happen to have invested a lot of assets, and we have players. Not to say we couldn't bring somebody in. I still think we should re-sign Kyle Phillips, and I don't know what that's all about. But we did bring back Nathan Shepard as a part of the rotation. Fans don't like Nathan Shepard so much, but seemingly the coaching staff does because he's brought back on the earlier side of free agency. But we have Quinnen, we have Rankins, we have JFM. You know, we have Jonathan Marshall, we have Nathan Shepard. Like, we have a lot of guys for that two-player rotation. I think we could definitely use first and second round picks and even thirds elsewhere, because not for nothing, the defensive tackle is one of those positions that you are more likely to find gems from the 5th round on. So why not do it?
Yo, it's Vin drops in with the super chat. He says XFL returns in less than a year. Think it survives. I hear it's linked up with the NFL, so the NFL is supporting it. So this could be a developmental league and an alternate route instead of going to college, and I would love this. I really do want to see a developmental league for the NFL. Mumtaz drops in with super chat, says if we cut Rankins and McGovern, we save $20 million. That's not right. It's 9 and I think 5, so it's 15. We can sign J.C. Treader, one of the best centers, and get JD for a defensive tackle. We will have 2 of the best and money and possibly picks in our pockets if we can trade. Look, I don't think you cut McGovern or Rankins until you figure out who's going to be replacing them, because none of them have money in their contracts at a set date. So you can kind of roll into training camp if you had to and then wind up saving money. I don't know. Greenbean, how are you feeling about like cutting players just to save some money?
Well, if we needed it, I mean, we still have Ryan Griffin, Greg Van Roten. That's going to be $7 million right there. We still have some of the back end guys. We can get 3, 4, 5 million there. So it's one thing when you need money. Yes, then you can do that. But we don't seemingly have too much issue with that. And we're estimated to have 60 million next year or something crazy like that. So Joe Douglas is doing a good job balancing our budget, let's say, and still being able to upgrade and still balance, our cap. But I mean, cutting McGovern and Rankins, I don't know why. Why do we need to cut those guys? They were 2 starters. Now, maybe Rankins wasn't what we hoped he'd be, but he's still known as a good pass rushing interior defensive lineman. And again, we're talking about using draft picks on defensive linemen. Like, we have him and he's $5 million. That's not exactly, that's not a $15 million contract. And McGovern's our starter at center. So I don't know. I don't know if I like it.
Lima Bean. Yeah, well, that's kind of it. Like, I think you only cut players if you know you have a replacement for them. I don't think you cut players just to save cap space. I think that's a bad move. Lima Bean drops in with super chat, says, how can the Jets overcome injuries? We have the worst luck with it and no real depth. Injuries can hurt the progress for growth and lowers win total. Yeah, I think that's true, but I do think that if there's a belief that guys can win, you can play through a few injuries. Like, some guys will hide injuries. Not that I'm saying that's a good thing, but I do think that, like, if you have a nagging hamstring or something, you're going to find a little bit more energy in you to push through to the next game, as opposed to a player on a really bad team that's like, hey, let me protect number 1. I don't need to take extra shots when I'm not feeling 100%. Like, my contract's not fully guaranteed. I can understand where players are put in that position because the league puts them in that position. But I think if we start winning, I think we will see a few less injuries in that respect. Greenbean, how you feeling about that?
Let's see how I'm going to just overcome injury. I know. Well, look, this is the whole thing we know that Joe Douglas gutted the entire medical program on One Jets Drive. We know that he not only just replaced people, he created departments that we didn't have, and he connected them all under one doctor, so they're all speaking the same language. If anybody's ever worked in the medical field, which I have, you'll know that nurses don't talk to therapists, and therapists don't talk. It's like these little battles. Everybody thinks their department's the most important. Having them all together under one doctor that, they all speak the same language and work in concert with one another, it's gonna be beneficial. Now, it didn't work last year so much, right? But again, just like bringing in a whole new coaching staff, like, we have to give them time to kind of implement their processes. This is the first offseason that they have with the team, with the player, these doctors, these nutritionists, these trainers and everything. So my hope is that what they're doing will pay off, will pay dividends for us. But I think just like everything else, it's probably going to take a minute. And then they got to change our damn field. We get more injuries on our field than most other places. So I hope that they look into that pretty soon.
Yeah, it's pretty wacky. I'm pretty sure the NFL actually looked into it after the 49ers game 2 years ago, where like Bosa tore his ACL and like Garoppolo went down with like an ankle injury. It was all sorts of chaotic. Cahill comes in with a super chat, says, we have the picks, take Breece Hall. If they go running back early, I'd be a little surprised. I wouldn't hate it, but I just don't think it's where I would spend the picks because I like Cook, and I think you can get him a little bit later there. Jeremy Crowder dropping in with super chat. We like you, Jeremy, but we don't love you now because you're a Bill. He says, stop stressing. 1,200 yards plus wide receiver already on the roster, and Elijah Moore plus 1,000-yard rusher in Michael Carter. The tight ends changed everything for us. All gas, no break. Jeremy's got it. Jeremy understands.
Yeah. Right, man. I mean, that's the thing. We're not devoid of talent, man. What we watched last year was a brand new organization with rookie players all over the place. And obviously the injuries didn't help us. We had a lot of guys that we brought in, Carl Lawson, Vinny Curry, some of the rookies, there was a lot of injuries and stuff. So that didn't help. But even without the injuries, we had a whole slew of guys, like they committed to something and they knew damn well we're winning nothing this year. And Jets fans can't seem to sign on to that. Like, you're looking at a team with rookies all over the place. I mean, the whole thing with Zach Wilson, it's like, dude, Zach Wilson came from an organization that played less talent as, for the opposition, and he never was pressured. Of course he's going to have a rough year. The first 4 games, he was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. You don't think that's a culture change? While he's learning a system, while the offensive line is trying to learn the system, like they decided last year to take their lumps now. So hopefully now we start to see our second year players with some of the, the upgrades that we've made at tight end and right guard and all that stuff. It starts to come together because our coaching staff now has a season under their belt.
Disregard Papa comes in with the super chat, says dream draft KT4, Jordan Davis or Drake London at 10. I don't want Jordan Davis, but I would take Drake London. No questions asked. Shavanchu drops in with super chat, says Bills double dipped trading for Diggs and drafting Davis. I'm not saying it's wrong to do that by any means, but it's not where I'd love to go. There's a lot of other positions that I would like to address before defensive tackle. Jake drops.
Yeah, well, dude, it was in the 4th round. That's not, we're talking first round. You know what I mean? Yeah, 4th round, sure, buddy. Yeah.
But they traded their first for Diggs. So
and then they didn't use their second.
Receiver. True. But it's 1st and 4th as opposed to just a 4th.
Well, we're talking about 1st and 2nd or double dipping in the 2nd. So yes, that makes significantly more sense. Getting a 1st round wide receiver and then getting one in the 4th, using your 35th pick on a wide receiver and waiting till the 4th or 5th. That makes sense.
Jake drops in the super chat, says, watching Reign of Fire, a movie Christian Bale, McConaughey, and Gerard Butler just take an edge in the 1st round, and I'm happy. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't know if I've seen Reign of Fire. But I love all those guys. Bale was my favorite of the Batman. Batman? Who's your Batman? Is it Clooney? Is it?
No, my Batman is no. What the hell's his name? The first guy.
Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
I was thinking
Beetlejuice. That's my Batman.
Adam.
What's his name? I can't believe it.
I'm thinking
Mr. Mom.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah.
He's like having a brain fart over there.
Yeah. He's doing have you seen Dope Sick yet? Oh, it's such a great show. It's Michael Keaton. Oh, it's fantastic. It's about the OxyContin thing and what they really did.
Oh, no.
But anyway.
Way. Yeah. I've watched some documentaries on it. It's screw Purdue Pharma. Kevin Klamaco drops him a super chat, says, in my honest opinion, I'd get defensive end / cornerback with the 4th pick, then offense with the next 3, offensive line, wide receiver, tight end, all in offense for Zach's sake. Top 5 O-line plus wide receivers equals sustainable success or sustained success. There's definitely an argument for it, and I understand it, because you look at the Bengals and you think how many weapons they have. You look at the Rams and you think how many weapons they have. I think you got to have the balanced attack, and I do think if you can get a premium player on defense with corner and with edge, both in the first round, and I understand how much wide receiver costs right now. You're talking about Hopkins, you're talking about Devontae Adams getting a ton of money, $27, $28 million. So getting a 5-year contract on a receiver is incredibly valuable, but I think it's a lot harder to draft a corner than it is to get a wide receiver. And I'd rather take a 4-year contract on a receiver and wind up having to pay him a ton of money than wind up taking a 5-year contract on a receiver and passing on a corner. Green Bean, what are your thoughts on, maybe, I don't know if I just rambled right there. Look, if they go all offense, I'm not going to hate it. I'm kind of all over the map here. I'm delirious.
Yeah. Again, we have to get off of the idea of just thinking about positions, which positions we want. It has to be the level of talent. That's what you want. Just because you want a receiver, if there's no receiver there that you think is a top 10 pick, then you don't take them. You do not reach for need. That's where the Jets have gotten into so much trouble over the years, reaching for need, committing, using assets to get a need, like 2 firsts to move up to get the 1 defensive tackle. You like all that kind of weird shit that we've done in the past. You got to take top 5 players with a top 5 pick. It just so happens that the strength of that top 5 happens to be at a need that we have. If you can go best player available at a need, that's what you want to do. If that means waiting till the 2nd round for a wide receiver because they're all very, in a very similar tier and talent wise, then you do it. Then you bypass wide receiver. Jets fans get caught in the positions. Like we're thinking about positions, and that applies, of course, but you want to take the most talent. So, if you push defensive tackle or what, whatever, wide receiver or safety, because the talent's at another position, it's at linebacker there. Bring in the linebacker, man. Get the best player. Get the guy that is likely to make it in the NFL, and then move on and wait till the next pick. That's the way it should go.
Craig drops in with a super chat. Craig says, any interest in Melvin Gordon? No. Green Bean, you?
Now that we've re-signed Coleman, probably not, but I would have liked him instead of Coleman, sure, as like the vet back, but I think they're going to probably bring in young legs. That's what I think they want to do. Mid-round, 3rd, 4th round pick, running back, and do it that way. I think that's their preferred way to do it.
Let's see. We got Jake. Jake drops in with a super chat. Jake says, I got no responsibility and I don't know why I can't be like Green Bean, who's my hero. Love your outlook on life. Dude, Green Bean makes me so happy. Like, I legitimately will text Green Bean on like days we're not talking about the Jets, just like shoot the shit, and it just makes me happy. Like, I legitimately love knowing you. I really do. It's like it is a pure joy in my life. It really is.
Well, thank you, Ryan. That's really nice. And thank you, Jake. I like that. Responsibility is a whole other thing. I'm pushing a hard reset right now. I think I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad. If my wife, we're trying to flip roles right now, which is not easy to do. I've been the worker my whole life, man, working 70 hours a week, 80 hours. That's who I am. So, but, yeah, well, I'm trying, dude. Look, man, I've been a grumpkin for most of my life. I was the angry young man, like the Billy Joel song said. I find an issue with everything. So I'm happy that that's noticed, because I work very hard on being positive. I wake up every day. My first thought is, this sucks. It's my first thought every morning.
Well, you do a good job. You wouldn't know it. Like the smile on your face, you wear it well, and I like it. It makes me happy. Like, I enjoy. Like, literally every Tuesday, I look forward to talking to you, Green Bean, you, Matt, and Green Bean, yourself, and the chat. Like, yeah. I just thoroughly enjoy it each and every week. And I will say, dude, the stay-at-home dad thing, I'm, like, pushing for it, because, like, Becca's got a great job. She's doing work over there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm doing the YouTube thing. So, like, Let's see.
I can stay at home.
Maybe I could stay at home, Dad. I would totally, dude. I'll build box forts and blanket forts and
That's
build tree
right.
forts, and I'll do like all the fun things. I'm gonna set up back box cars through the whole house. I'm gonna hide things. I'm gonna like
totally. See, man, it's a fun thing if you look at it through the right lens. And we homeschool too. So there's all that stuff. Like that was really one of the cool things about being on the road for so long. We homeschool our kids. So we're doing history lessons at the Alamo. We're doing science in a national park. Like, so we're, you know, earth science and all that kind of stuff. So now like I look forward to the idea of like creating the schedule with my kids and, you know, certain documentaries. Like when we were in Roswell, they learned all about the Roswell incident and, you know, how the government can hide stuff, all that kind of stuff, man. So it's really an exciting thing. I'll whip up something nice for dinner, baby. That's what I'll do. You come home from after a hard day's work, I'll have dinner on the table. Sure.
Hell yeah.
I like this idea.
I'm starting to get better at cooking. Becca's definitely a way better cook than I am, but I don't cook as much. Like,
yeah,
you know, I'm
that's
more
the
of,
problem.
I love doing the dishes. I'm more of like for some weird reason, I like feeling the bubbles through my hands and like cleaning the dishes. It just feel clean. And like, I know they're clean because I clean. I don't know. It's some weird thing in my head. But I would prefer to do dishes over food. Just my thought. But I'm happy to cook for her after a long day for sure.
Yeah. Well, let me say this too about you. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but Ryan and I happened to be in Sedona, Arizona at the same time. Excuse me. And he was with his wife and I was with my wife, and we had the opportunity to get together and kind of, you know, get the wives together and everything and have brunch, whatever it was. And look, when we left there, my wife said about Ryan, like, wow, he's really like, he's enjoyable to be around. He's just like you would think he's like from, you know, the short time she's seen you on, you know, on videos and shit. She's like, oh my God, he's like fun to be around. I said, yeah, dude. Like, I mean that, like, about you as well. Like, you're a genuinely awesome guy to be around. So I feel the same way, buddy.
That means a lot. And as soon as you started saying, as soon as you guys left, legitimately the same thing came out of Becca's mouth. She's like, I feel like I've known them forever. Like first time meeting him, and like I've known him forever. I was like, I know, I've been talking to Green Bean for years. I mean, I've been on Jet Nation for 5 years. You've been on it way longer than me, but we've been talking since then, and then we've been doing the whole video thing since then. So the on-screen chemistry, we got it.
Yeah, totally, man. And look, right, O'Leary too. Like I met Matt O'Leary at this Coney Island Cyclone. Like, what a great place to meet Matt for the first time, you know. And he doesn't ride roller coasters, so it was like he said that was, I think he said that was his third roller coaster ever. And here I am, I'm riding, you know, I'm on 300 and everything, and it was great to like be on that roller coaster with him. You know what I mean? What a cool thing. Matt's awesome, dude. He really is a great guy. His girlfriend brought me cookies. Like, come on. You know what I mean? We have some great girls in our life, dude.
We really do. We're lucky. It's the unsung heroes behind. Oh, see, they're saying get a room. Sorry.
Hey, we never do this.
Gush session. I'm delirious.
Hey, this is right. It's 10:30, man. You know what I mean? It's 10:30. This is all extra. This is bonus.
Yeah,
do what we want.
Bonus content. Butt Files drops it with a super chat. Butt Files says, "Hey, will you guys pop up the Jets Lounge on Twitter?" Yeah, we do. Yeah, Green Bean's been in it. I've been in it a few times. Dude, Sack Exchanges is awesome. He's a good dude.
He's the best.
I hopped in with Damian Woody and Tony Richardson. I was on with Doozable the one time. You know, just shooting the shit. There's some good people that wind up popping in those lounges. I think it's really cool. Sack Exchange, the guy that started this whole thing, is going to be on our live stream for the draft for a little bit. Yeah. Let's see who we got.
Totally.
Iowan Jets fan. Where'd you go? Okay, Iowan says, "Is Matt done with his article yet?" Yeah, we could have brought Matt back on. Didn't realize we were gonna go this long.
Yeah. Hey.
Let's see.
Happens.
Ryan will have Green Bean's beard by the time we're done. Hopefully, we're wrapping up soon. I'm gonna.
Hey, you know what? We could end it. We could end it right now if you guys want.
We're going to go right through it. Lame Cactus. What's up, dude? 15 months of membership. Much appreciated. Gets himself a free super chat. Says Hamilton at 4. Best player. F. Brandon. Jets greater than G-Men. I don't want Hamilton at 4. I really don't. I'd be pretty upset. I want Edge. Rick drops in with a super chat. Rick says, I got a guy for Green Bean, late rounder, T. Cordell Volson, NDS, check him out, or have you heard of him? I have no idea who this is. Green Bean, do you have any idea?
Cordell, no, I don't know
or
who that
tackle.
is. Hold
He's
on.
saying tackle Cordell Volson, I think is what he's saying.
Oh, Vol's tackle. Let me just, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Not really. Let me see. Let me just take a quick peek at what I got here. What school is he from? Did he say what school?
NDS,
there he is, North Dakota State. Cordell Volson, 6'6", 310. No, I've done very little, if any. I don't remember ever even coming across this guy before. I did a lot of late round guys too, like Sills and Mays and Tenuta. I've done a lot of guys. I didn't do Vol. I'll check him out. I'll check out Volson for you. Not for you, but thank you for the tip. I'll look at him.
Lima Bean drops in and says, drafting best player available got us defensive tackles in the first round for years. Yeah, you're talking Leonard Williams, Sheldon Richardson, Muhammad Wilkerson, Quentin Coples, like 4 in a matter of like, what was it, 5 or 6 years? It was like silly. Absolutely silly. We got to go best player available, but I don't think you have to go best player available at any position. Like if quarterback's best player available, don't do it. No, absolutely not. Kyle Ormsby drops in with a super chat, says, you two def did some weird shit in Sedona. Hey, what Green Bean and I do in the comfort of the red rocks and the snowy mountains during like the 5 inches of 8 inches of snow they get a year is totally between the two of us and our 2 smoke shows of wives.
Right, man. Hey, what happens in Sedona stays in Sedona. Everybody knows this.
That's exactly what I'm saying. All right.
Hey, you want to see?
Oh,
wait, let me see something. Oh, wait, let me see what I got here.
What do you got there?
I think I have the moment, wait a minute, that we met on camera. You want to see it?
Ooh.
Let me see. Let me just make sure.
Do we meet for pizza first, or are you saying the first?
Oh, no, we met.
Game, we met for pizza first.
Yeah, we did. We met for pizza. I have the second time we met. You want to see it?
I do. I want to see it. Can you share it?
All right, hold on. Yeah, I think I can. Hold on.
I don't understand how my thing works over here. Actually,
that's right. This is not StreamYard. Let me see. I don't think I can. Share screen. Hold on. Let me see.
You can, but I think it ends up behind us. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
Does it? Oh, because of all that jazz.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I might hide us and see what happens. Let me know if it works.
Is this it? Let me see. Do you see it?
I don't see anything yet.
It says sharing window.
Oh. No.
You see something? You don't see anything?
Nothing. I got nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
See it now?
I still see nothing.
Do it.
Wait, hold on.
It says unable to start the call. What is that? I'm not trying to make a call.
What the heck? Hold on. There's got to be, maybe I have a setting ticked or something.
Oh, shit. I think I ruined it. I think I got to go. I think it's kicking.
Oh, no. Oh, Green Bean. Oh, he goes, oh, no. I screwed up. What did I do? All right. So Green Bean's still there, sort of in spirit. He's probably in the chat. Chris Bradigan drops with a super chat, says, can't wait for the draft, fellas. My 3rd with you guys. Cheers, go Jets. Yo, guys. Oh, here we go. We got Green Bean back.
That's what we call not working.
Really funny. That was fantastic. He goes, like, uh-oh, I think I screwed up. And then, God. That was like when we had the stream where like I got booted off and I couldn't end the stream and you and Matt were just talking and they're like, wow, I wonder what happened to Ryan. Off.
Yeah, I think we're still live. And then it cut.
Boom.
We're just talking.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Chris dropped in it with a super chat here. He says, can't wait for the draft, fellas. It's my 3rd with you guys. Cheers, go Jets. Yo, it's a lot of fun. Like, it really is. If you guys haven't hung out with us for the draft stream, what's cool is we're on a little bit of a delay, so you can still watch, like, ESPN or NFL Network or whatever channel showing the draft, and then you can have us on your phone or your laptop, and you can, like, click over and just see, like, how we're reacting. Like, because we wind up putting the screen. You see the commissioner go out on our screen. So you'll see our live reactions as the commissioner is saying the pick. Whew. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
It's going to be a blast, dude. And this year we're putting a lot more forethought into it to try to give you guys the best experience that we can. You know, we've always prepared a little, you know, but this year we're actually, you know, we have some experience with this, man. You know, we know what to expect this year. So I think it's going to be the best one yet, like by far. I think it's going to be much more you know, fun for everybody that attends. You guys all got to come. If every single one, we got to be the place that you're hanging with for the draft. It's going to be the best place online without question.
Oh, absolutely. Not only are we going to have, okay, let's go through the guest list again real quick. We got Richie from Jets Media, Ali from Loyal NY Jet Fans. We got John from NY Jets Today. We got Jake Asman. We got Sabo, Blewett, Sack Exchange, Luke Grant, Boy Green. Like, we got a whole laundry list of guys coming on the show. Not to mention, we're giving away like jerseys. We might do some tickets. I think Matt's got like a Manscaped thing, so if you want to shave your balls, like, you could do so while thinking of Matt and us. Like, think of it, like, oh, right?
You can shave your balls. We can all shave our balls together.
We could shave our
like
see,
round 5 talk.
Well, it's like, yeah, you know, well, it's just be, like nipples up, and then you know, no one knows what's going on below. Who knows? You don't see my hands the whole time.
That's right. You don't know what I got going on down here. You don't know. You don't know. It's great. But think about it. Maybe like, look, when we get into the 5th round, it gets, you know, it gets kind of lazy and relaxed, and we'll just all have a ball shaving party. Why not?
We absolutely the 5th round winds up turning into like dick jokes and things like that with Joe Blewett, and it winds up just getting ridiculous. But it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Hey, Robbie Oak says this isn't Sedona, guys. That's funny. That's
right,
fantastic.
Boys and girls. Let's okay. We got. Oh wow, lame cactus. That's aggressive. That is aggressive, my friend. I'll tell you what. No. Can you shave my balls, Ryan? Absolutely not.
Yeah, Gitmo Bob says it's too bad you guys can't get in a room together for the draft. I don't know if he's making a joke or if he's being serious. Like, you guys all be in the same place.
We're gonna be in a chat room. It's gonna be here. We're chatting in this room.
Right here.
Right here. All right, boys and girls. We've gone 42 minutes over our planned bedtime, and I'm exhausted. It's been a lot of fun. Green Bean, anything you got to say out there for the people?
Let's see. Well, guys, my road trip is over, so I'm here. I'm going to be in Charlottesville for the foreseeable future. I'll still be bouncing around. I do lots of travel stuff anyway, but not like I was. Thanks for hanging with me and dealing with the internet shit. So when I go look for a house, one of the first questions I'm asking is what service is here? Like, I need to know. I'm not dealing with some bullshit. So hopefully the internet will be better moving forward. But yeah, man, we do the Thursday thick of it with Frankie and 𝐒'𝐿�0 and everybody pops in. So it's a really good time on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. I hope you guys can come hang with me, man. We cut it up really fun. It's a good time.
We got a last second super chat there from Jake. Jake says, thanks,
there
guys.
He is.
Thanks, Jake. Much appreciated, brother.
Thanks,
As
Jake.
always,
you're a good dude.
He's a good dude. Boys, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back next week, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Oh, wait. Hold on. Green Bean.
What's up? Yeah.
We didn't give away a T-shirt.
Oh, shit. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Here we go. We're just ripping through Nightbots right now. Here we go. Wow. All right, I got NFL Chaos with Jeremy and Robbie Oak as qualifiers right now. Man, I was so looking forward to hitting that end button. I am exhausted.
Right, you were right there.
Dude, I was about to hit it. Hudson Jr. Who we got? What do we got? We got to get... Man, we got
You guys want to do... You want to do an after party in a half hour? I can hang out another half hour.
Ooh, wow.
Look it, I'm up late now.
You're wild. Wild.
I am. I'm a wild and crazy guy.
I'm going to fall over. Did you ever... Well, you're a little old for this. Wild and Crazy Kids? That was my...
no, I don't remember
jam. Nickelodeon, dude. I remember being a kid being like, oh, my man, I just want to be on Wild and Crazy Kids. I am so athletic, and I want to be able to beat other kids in races and pie flinging contests and the aggro crag and the Legends of the Hidden Temple stuff. Man, we got a whole bunch of people. Sorry.
Yeah.
We got Jeremy, we got Robbie Oak, PG Hudson Jr., Twisted, Hank G, Jake, �'𝐶𝐞𝐽𝐫𝐲. Green Bean, why don't you hop over to last Tuesday's stream, and I'll ask for, we'll get 5 from over by there.
Hey, David Gerard said he wore his "What Would Green Bean Do" shirt today. That's this one. See this?
Oh, I love it. What would Green Bean do?
Yeah,
I love it. I was wearing my what was it? I have a Jets X Factor shirt. I was rocking that one a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's a good shirt
Hell
too.
Yeah. I like those guys.
Let me see.
I tried to get Nanny on. Nania wasn't able to come on. He's like, I got to write some articles and stuff. He's like, I'm really sorry. He's like, dude, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. And I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Nanny is great.
He's a good dude.
All right, here's this one. All right, I got my guys. You ready?
Yeah, because the chat's just giving me the same person over and over again.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm getting the same. Okay, fire away. Give me 5 names.
All right, here we go. Let's do New York Jets fan 4. Let's do Anders Kortsen. Cortsen. Kortsen.
Okay.
Let's do Curly Norman.
Okay.
Duncan McLean, MacLean.
Mm-hmm.
And Ed Vargas. What do you think, guys? Is that a good group?
Vargas. And then I also had... Where did I see another one? Oh, I thought I had another name in here. Oh, David Gerard. I don't have him on here. Oh. Edward Ziff says, I will give away my gang green softball jersey. During the draft? You don't have to do that, dude. It's appreciated. But you don't have to do that. The first thing we gave away, I think, was Green Bean's jacket. I think we gave away some...
Yeah.
I think we gave
the
away
retro
a jacket and some shirts, maybe?
Jets jacket. Yeah, I gave away a coat. Yeah, jacket. It was like an actual, maybe it was a jacket. I don't think it was a winter coat, but yeah, it was great. What a beautiful jacket that was. We gave that. That was the first thing, right? That was cool.
That was fantastic, dude. That was great. All right. Let's do this. Odds and evens. 3, 2, 1. We got evens. All right. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, odds. We are down to 3. 3, 2, 1.
Can't believe it took me that long to do that one.
I can't believe none of us have done that. Kevin Chata, you are our t-shirt winner for tonight.
Nice. There you go, Kev. Congrats.
Oh, it's
Congrats,
great.
Kev.
He's always in the chat. I think that this might be his second time winning. He gets put on the qualifier a lot. He's always hanging out with us.
Does he? He's always in there?
All you got to do is be hanging out in the chat. It's absolutely awesome. All right, boys. It's been a lot of fun. This is Jets Talk signing off. JETS.